290, contact approach 124.35, 2435.
2435,
November 9 Golf Bravo, squawk VFR, change to advisory, frequency approved. Good day.
4105, and then 5088, contact tower 119.1, good day. 4500. 5088, contact tower 119.1. November 3128 Whiskey, sorry, I answered another aircraft earlier instead of you. The altimeter is 3015.
3015, no problem, 28 Whiskey.
November 67290, Greensboro approach, roger.
My star, my descent.
November 8 Lima, uniform roger, descent at your discretion, Greensboro, altimeter 3015. Tag 10 miles southeast of Davidson County Airport, Greensboro, altimeter 3015. VFR climbed at 5,500, approved.
November 8 Mike Charlie, cleared on course, or correction, proceed on course.
Yeah, of course, it's my star.
Approach Warrior 434 X-ray.
Terminated, squawk VFR, the only traffic I see in the vicinity. Actually, there's two aircraft in the vicinity, one indicating 4,100 appears eastbound. The other one is 6 miles northwest of the field, indicating 2,500 appears southeastbound. Change advisory frequency approved.
November 05 Foxtrot, would you like to start a VFR descent?
Yeah, we can start descent now, 055.
November 05 Foxtrot, VFR descent, your discretion.
Okay, VFR descent, our discretion, 055 jet. We're out of 905 or 55.
November 05 Foxtrot, roger.
Hey, Greensboro, 737 Bravo Tango.
November 737 Bravo Tango, Greensboro approach, go ahead.
I'm sorry, did you put us over to 1200 on the clock?
Greensboro Airport, expect runway 5 right, and maintain VFR at or above 3,500.
Frequency approved.
39155 right, 44 X-ray. When we go on the mist, we'll be shooting approaches into Greensboro when we're done here.
November 45 Whiskey, roger, squawk 5241.
5241, thank you.
November 41 Romeo, enter left base for 5 right, and you can contact tower 119.1.
Left base 5 right, contact tower 119.149. 7 Bravo Tango, switch to advisory, frequency will be on the backside.
November 7 Bravo Tango, roger.
November 7 Bravo Yankee, contact approach 124.35.
2435, 7 Bravo Yankee. Greensboro approach, Bonanza 7 Bravo Yankee at 6,000. November 7 Bravo Yankee, Greensboro approach, roger.
Army 345, verify your direct guy now. Army Capture 345, contact Fayetteville, approach 127.8.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. David. Do you say David in Germany, or is it David or something like that?
Scott Lima uniform, Burlington Airport, 12 o'clock, 10 miles.
Here it's David. Oh, this is Ambient Gold from the Stream Beats collection. A Harris Heller product, Ambient Gold. It is kind of my unofficial theme song, I guess. This is the one I like to play at the beginning of the show as much as I can, as often as I remember, anyway. Friday morning. Oh yes, gotta play the drumsticks. Gotta bring the air drums out. It's Friday morning, and as I mentioned in chat there, I did just get off my midnight shift a few hours ago now, about 6:30. So here I am, barely any sleep, but we carry on. Figured I'd just kind of low-key get a little bit of work done on this. I'm not gonna be showing any particular techniques today, but I'm willing to take questions on anything if anybody asks. And just gonna try to get some work done, and I thought I'd come hang out with all of you guys while I did it. Maybe you can keep me awake, because sometimes after these mid shifts I get a little drowsy. All right. So here we are. We got the ATC going. Hear myself again. There we go. It's because I got the iPad on. Let's duplicate that. Not much going on today. Just sitting here banging out some scenery elements. How are you today, Mr. David? David? Okay.
I was looking for lower, I'm sorry.
I will go with David. I will try my best to remember that.
November 03 Victor Roger, descend and maintain 4,000.
I always get a little bit of, tell you, get a bit of anxiety about people's names, especially foreign people's names, because I don't like to say people's names incorrectly.
November 03 Victor, I'm in altitude, maintain 5,000 for the departure corridor at Winston-Salem.
So I want to say correct. I mean, I think it's respectful to say someone's name correctly.
November 7103 Victor, min altitude, maintain 5,000.
That's something that even at work we all struggle with sometimes, because we get really used to saying to calling everybody by their last name, and it's not always really preferred by everyone to be referred to by their last name. But I get called by my last name quite a bit. I have no problem with it. But I think it does show a sort of a deeper sign of respect if you actually know somebody's first name and say they're call them by that. Come on. It's not working. It's this infernal line. Am I outside of the hierarchy? I am outside of the hierarchy. My goodness. We have created an untenable position here, people. As I said, I already answered that question, I'm pretty sure, but I am doing just fine. I have nothing to complain about. The weekend, right? So that's a good thing. I unfortunately do have to work tomorrow. So that is life in the big city here.
Departure Alaska 9411 passing 2,200 climbing 5,000 runway heading.
Part of the deal with working being an air traffic controller is you're kind of always on call. And I'm not on call per se, but I am definitely schedulable for overtime, and so I got bit by the overtime monster for tomorrow night. So you won't be seeing me around these parts come tomorrow. But that's okay.
Approach 128.32.
KGSO 7 Kilo, Roger. No traffic observed between you and Mid-Carolina Correction, Lexington Airport. Frequent change crew, squawk VFR, see ya.
411, clear direct Tricia.
Clear direct Tricia, last name 411.
So I teased this technique that I was using and trying and working with yesterday. I didn't really tease it. I actually did my video, my stream on it yesterday. Kind of introduced it. And so that's what we're working on right now. We're kind of dealing with the the reality that now that I've decided to go this route with this runway, I've got to actually put in the work now. There's a couple of lines.
Cirrus 250 Sierra Mike.
Cirrus 250 Sierra Mike, Greensboro.
Oh yeah, you switched this over to Fayetteville and they sent us back to you. 1000 with hotel.
Brickyard 4631 Greensboro, approach Greensboro, altimeter 3015, descend and maintain 6,000, and verify you want 5 left.
Down to 6,000 and 5 right available.
Brickyard
Top
4631
down camera
affirmative,
here.
expect 5 right shortened, and fly heading 235 vectors, final approach course.
For 250 Sierra Mike, contact
Let's
Fayetteville
see, your last name.
9411, contact Atlanta Center 128.8, good day.
28.8, last 9411, good day.
See, American, we would say Gerson. You probably have like Gerson or something like that.
Tango Greensboro departure, ident Greensboro, altimeter 3015, pay your next approach request.
Roger that, ident 3015. We're going to do the hold that U-Link has published, and then an ILS to whatever the active is in Greensboro.
November 7 Bravo Tango, roger, reports ready to come inbound for the ILS, runway 5 left.
Roger that, expect ILS 5 left, and we'll let you know. Bravo Tango, thank you. Sorry, 22 much here, this is help time, John Field.
November 49 X-ray, contact tower. November 03 Victor, roger, and expect lower in about 4 miles.
Lower in 4, yeah, this is the next.
Just trying to get a hang of this whole, like, let's duplicate these objects thing. I think it's working okay. Click and drag method is not a huge favorite of mine, but oh well. And then I get a heck of a time actually making them line up. Son?
What type aircraft again? What type aircraft?
Son, yeah.
November
That doesn't surprise me.
870 Charlie Papa, Greensboro, altimeter 301.
Gerson.
Squawk
Is
5154.
it Gerson or Gerson? That is the question.
November 870 Charlie Papa, radar contact at 4 miles southeast of Mount Airy Airport, Greensboro, altimeter 3012, VFR climb approved. Actually, climb and maintain VFR at or above 4,500 for departure quarter of Winston-Salem Airport. November 0 Charlie Papa.
This own thing isn't really so surprising, I don't think. I mean, we just don't have any. We don't have any words that have that really have that sound. Son.
November 0 Charlie Papa, affirmative. Maintain VFR at or above 4,500. November 03 Victor.
To be honest, our O's sound like U's a lot of the time.
Left 270, vector final approach course.
All right. Let's take that object again.
November 03 Victor, cleared visual approach runway 5 left, contact tower.
See if duplicating again works.
Becky 246, say request.
November 15246, we'd like to do a touch and go and then depart off to Hotel Bravo, VFR.
6246, roger, you can expect that.
Thank you, 246.
November 0 Charlie Papa, traffic 9 o'clock and 3 miles south, southwestbound. Altitude indicates 4,200.
For 246, we plan on doing a touch and go at Afro and going to...
I sound French. Ugh. That's an insult.
November 0 Charlie Papa, roger.
6 roger.
No offense to anyone who's French. I speak with this outrageous
November
French
0
accent.
Charlie Papa, turn right heading 180, vectors for traffic. November 8 Mike Charlie, contact Atlanta Center 125.15.
Yep. Going to Atlanta, 125.15, 8 Mike Charlie, how do you get?
Brickyard 4631, descend and maintain 3000.
Descend and maintain 3000, Brickyard 4641.
And November 0 Charlie Papa, that traffic has turned to the southeast now. You can start your climb to 4,500.
Skyhawk 870 Charlie Papa, resuming climb and resuming original vector.
November 0 Charlie Papa, actually just stay on that 180 heading until we've got the altitude.
November 9 Papa Kilo, turn left heading 360, vector for airspace. 360.
Voices keep changing.
Brickyard 4631, turn left heading a 160. Once you're in the turn, Greensboro Airport, be 11 o'clock and 10 miles.
Left heading 160 and Greensboro's inside Brickyard 4631.
Brickyard 4631, roger, and cleared visual approach, runway 5 right, square your base turn of final for traffic on the parallel.
Cleared visual 5 right, we'll square up our base to final Brickyard 4631.
How do you think this looks there, Mr. Garçon? Garçon? This is the new my new runway technique here. I think we're closing in on something that looks nice. But I think I've inadvertently opened myself up to a whole new world of textures and understanding.
Brickyard 4631, direct the numbers is now approved.
Like there's a whole lot of stuff going on with this method that I can add in, I'm sure, but I don't know anything about texturing, so
Kilo clear direct Papa November Echo thing.
it's trainee's voice again. So I know who's training him because you heard his voice minutes
Charlie
ago.
Papa, resume navigation, traffic no factor.
It's working with my trainees.
Skyhawk 870 Charlie Papa, resuming original heading, Greensboro approach.
Greensboro 320 Foxtrot, 11 and 11 with hotel.
November 320 Foxtrot, Greensboro approach, Greensboro altimeter 3016. Would you like 5 right shortened or 5 left?
Left side's fine. We're going to Curry today, 3205.
Is it 5 left?
Yeah, that's fine.
Skyhawk 1451 uniform, Greensboro approach. Skyhawk 51 uniform, squawk 0123.
0123, probably.
I've never played Portal 2, no. I'm not, I'm honestly not that huge gamer overall. I play like a couple of games, and I play them a lot if I'm going to play them. I don't play a very wide variety of games. So I don't know. I like to play a lot of interactive games, things where I can play them with other people, and I think because of that, it doesn't... the satisfaction comes with playing in a group, you know, and not necessarily new content all the time. So constantly changing games and stuff like that, to me, is not all that fun, and I think you really have to purchase a lot of games to do that, and I don't want a stack full of games that I don't like to play. I don't like to really buy a game unless I'm pretty sure I'm going to play it a lot. You know, justify the purchase, because games are expensive, man. All right, just quite like this edge.
Heading 120 vectors, final approach course.
120 heading 320 Foxtrot.
Like I've said before, there's like these little notches. There, that's better. Little notches that increment the paint. And so you gotta kind of nestle it right into the right spot, and when it's at an angle like this, it's not going to necessarily be flat all the time.
November 0 Charlie Papa, you're just above it, so you'll be fine.
Now I will bet.
Affirmative, Greensboro approach.
So I have to take these and move them.
Scott K. Lima uniform, say again your departure destination and altitude requesting.
There we go.
Departing from Burlington and requesting 3,500. Skyhawk 718 Lima uniform.
Hey, Lima uniform, just need your destination airport, thanks.
2,000 to 3,000, 76 Lima.
November 2076 Lima, Greensboro, departure radar contact, climbing 5,000.
5,000 476 Lima.
Scott K. Lima uniform, squawk 1110, say altitude leaving.
1110. What did you say about the altitude? 718 Lima uniform.
Just say altitude leaving.
Altitude leaving 3,400. Skyhawk 718 Lima uniform.
738.
All right.
Descending 12,000. We have 6,000.
November 51 uniform, turn right heading at 055 vectors, final approach course.
Right 055 vectors for final approach course. Also public uniform.
November 20 Foxtrot, descend to maintain 3,000, Greensboro Airport, 11 o'clock and 17 miles.
3,000, get the field site, 320 Foxtrot.
Now,
718 Lima uniform.
Which runway 5 left.
Clear visual 5 left, 320 Foxtrot. First, FedEx 2738, 12 and a half, descending 12,000 with India.
I got all the markings on this half of the runway done, except for the threshold line. But got the 500-foot bars.
Exit at 744,
Are
fly
all
heading
in.
at 240 vectors, final approach course, descend to maintain 6,000.
240, 6,000 to 744. Approach FedEx 2738, we're set up for 5 left, any chance we get that?
FedEx 2738, expect runway 5 left.
Thank you, 5 left, thank you, FedEx 2738.
So let's take a look at this part here. How can I cover these up so you don't see them as much? This is how we're going to do this. So I'm going to open that. Hide the runway object. Try to use the... Select the apron. I'm going to go copy.
8 Bravo Golf, squawk
Or
1113.
right-click copy properties, and I'm going to draw a new apron.
Squawk 1113.
So default object here. Let's just put it right in that same folder.
Contact Washington Center 124.05.
6 Lima, Roger. I'll have on course set for you momentarily. Traffic at 3 o'clock and 10 miles. Southwestbound is
There we
Challenger
go.
at 9,000, descending to 6,000.
We'll keep our eye out for the traffic.
96, 103, 110. '96, 103, 110.
Greensboro approach.
Correct. Yeah.
2872.
So this little piece right here
12 miles north of the field at 3,000
is the important one because I've got it layered
November 2872 Quebec, Greensboro, approach squawk
on top of this other one.
Verify information, India.
I try to do this in a way that I can
North Burlington, and clear to Burlington
not be
Airport as
super
filed. Climb and maintain 6,000.
obvious about it.
Burlington Airport as filed. Climb and maintain 6,000. 738 Bravo Golf.
500.
And we'll check on that weather.
November 51 uniform, maintain 2,500. FedEx 2738 is set to maintain 6,000.
Set to maintain 6,000. FedEx 2738.
Oh, I'm not sure that looks so good. So I've just drawn taken a what's it called?
Departure Delta 546, 2,300 for 5,000, 070 heading.
Delta 546 Greensboro departure, radar contact, climb and maintain 1,000.
apron element and just laid it on top of the other one.
Confirm the altitude for Delta 546.
546,
It's
climb
a
and
little
maintain
lighter. Oh, that looks much
12,000.
better.
I climbed a 12,000 for Delta
So now if I turn the runway back on,
and direct bolts. Thank you. 352, medevac 352 approach.
there. Can't hardly tell that that's gone now.
Medevac 352 Hotel Sierra, Greensboro, approach Greensboro, altimeter 3016. Advise when you have the weather at Mount Airy Airport. Did you want the approach or visual?
Visual's fine. We have the weather. Just got it right now. 352 Hotel.
Medevac 2 Hotel Sierra, Roger. November 76 Lima, traffic no factor, climb maintain 8,000 and clear direct to destination airport.
8,000 direct to Golf Kilo Tango.
Huh.
76 Lima.
November 2872
Now I've got another idea. Let's see if I can scroll over.
Near radar contact at 11 miles northeast of Greensboro Airport.
Let's see if I can make this look even remotely good. Sorry, that's not what I wanted. Let's hide that. Watch this. Watch this. Let's see if I can do this. I can go apron. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Number 246, enter right base, runway
6,
5 right, contact tower.
7, 8, 9, 10,
ExitJet 744, descend to
11,
maintain 3,000.
12, 13, 14,
Center 124.05.
15.
Reduce speed to, correction, descend to maintain
And
3,000,
now,
then reduce speed to 190.
Down to 6,000, speed 190, FedEx 2738.
the coloration and just do that.
November 2 Hotel Sierra, clear direct at Barney.
Okay.
November 2 Hotel Sierra, descend to maintain 3,600 at Mount Airy Airport at 12 o'clock and 12 miles. Traffic is at 12 o'clock and 7 miles southeastbound. Altitude indicates 3,000.
Down to 3,600. We're looking for that
Now
traffic.
let's see if I just duplicate it a bunch of times.
November 2 Hotel Sierra, traffic's 12 o'clock,
No, doesn't
6
change
miles
it.
southeastbound.
Okay, looking for 352.
Delta 546, contact Atlanta Center 128.8.
So I attempted to make this white.
Approach Saratoga 833.
Oh, there we go.
Zulu 2000 and like the VOR DME Alpha into Shiloh.
November 39er Zulu, Greensboro approach at Roger. November 390 radar contact.
And 300 bit Mike 8,000.
230.
To Mike Greensboro approach, altimeter 3016.
3016, 300 bit Mike.
Accept the final, descend to maintain 3,000.
Interesting.
080, intercept the final, and descend maintain 3,000, FedEx 2738.
November Medevac 2 Hotel Sierra.
Okay, so
maintain
now
3,600 for my MVAs, and Mount Airy Airport is 11 o'clock and 10 miles.
I see what the problem is here. Okay, there's a weird line in it because it's concrete. So let's make it
Medevac 2 Hotel
asphalt.
Sierra, roger, traffic at 12 o'clock and 1 mile southbound. Altitude indicates 2,800.
That line should be gone. That looks much better. Okay. So let's not draw the surface.
November 5-1
See if I can
uniform,
clean up some of these
3
corners.
miles from final approach fix. Turn left heading 360, maintain 2,500 until established on the localizer. Cleared ILS, runway 33 approach.
360, maintain 2,500 until established, clear the ILS, 33, 145 Newport.
FedEx 2738, Greensboro Airport's 12 o'clock, 10 miles.
We're at the field site, FedEx 2738.
FedEx 2738, do you need vectors for your descent?
Negative.
FedEx 2738, cleared visual.
Good morning, Mr. Mackis.
Runway 5 left.
Clear to visual approach 5 left.
Hello, hello, hello.
Just booted up the PC here.
Medevac 2 Hotel Sierra for cancellation. Receive squawk VFR change to advisory frequency approved and traffic no factor.
You're on stream. If you don't want to be on stream, let me know.
744, turn left heading on
no, I still
130.
can't. Hold on, let me restart.
November 390,
There
VFR
we
practice
go.
approach
Hey.
approved.
What's up,
No
man?
separation
How are you? Good
surfaces
morning.
affected.
Yeah, good morning. I'm recently home from my midnight shift and on low sleep.
Contact, climb and maintain 1-2000.
How are you feeling? Like a crackhead?
You're on course
Like
for
I've
the
gotten like
270.
2.5 hours of sleep. That's how I feel. Not amazing.
Not well. Need to go down. Going crashing soon.
November 5-1 uniform.
Yeah, I won't.
Verified
I won't.
full stop.
I don't have too much in me. That's for sure.
November 5-1 uniform.
Yeah, I just jumped on. I got a
137
lot to do today. I got like an hour right now to
Ouch.
myself, and then I got to run around all day. So, yep, family coming into town. Got some shit to do.
11 o'clock and 14 miles.
Gotta go do my shopping for the weekend.
Exit 744, cleared
All
visual approach
that,
runway 5 right.
so-
Contact tower.
Family coming in is good.
Yes, yes, and they're having my cousin, you know, this family. They're the parents of my cousin coming into town, my aunt and uncle, and she's getting married in October, so I'm excited to like talk to them about the wedding because this one I might be able to get to go to because it's in New York. The other couple, their other daughters that got married were like out of state, and at the time I couldn't really it was hard for me to travel, so I'm excited to go to this one because it's the only one I could, and I think there's only one other kid that hasn't gotten married in that family, so I want to get to at least one.
Yeah.
Of the, geez, how many kids? They got 5. We got 4 kids.
Oh, that's plenty.
Yeah, man.
November 7 to Quebec, enter a left base, runway.
All right, I'm gonna run some solos. What are you making airports over there?
2 mile final.
Yes, I am.
Base from my 5 left, cross
Okay.
the lake, 7 to Quebec.
I'll try to keep
Some sort of mindless work here.
I'm going sweat lord for an hour. In my box.
Good morning,
Not turning my camera on.
10,000 ETA.
In fact, let me grab a coffee. That's how early.
Last line. Say again, please.
SFP is man 6102, 10,000 ETA. Greensboro, Rhino 90, 16,400, descending 13,000.
I believe at 10,000 feet, I don't have anybody I'm supposed to be talking to.
We are going to Greensboro, Speedman 6102, landing in Greensboro.
I don't have anybody I'm supposed to be talking
Speedman
to.
6102, my apologies, and turn right heading 235 vectors, downwind runway 5 left, descend and maintain 6,000.
That looks a little janky, but I think that looks okay, doesn't it?
Beck, what is up with the queue time right now?
490 Kilo Mike, Greensboro.
Oh, it's early, that's why, Sam. I'm probably gonna get a bot lobby.
Oh.
Nope, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do one-man squad. Yesterday, listen to this snare. Nobody's on last night. I played, look at this. I'm gonna tell you my stats. I played about 4 matches, bro. My first solo squad, right? Number 2, 2 kills, 157 damage, bro. Number 2, so it was me versus 4, right? Another one, number 2, another number 2, 196 damage, no kills, but a number 2, dude.
Oh, wow.
And a number 3, 0 kills, 17 damage, bro. Those were my solo squads I was playing, bro. Hold on one sec.
November 0 Charlie Papa, affirmative 126.6.
Affirmative, Greensboro approach, Skyhawk 870 Charlie Papa.
Verify 4 miles east of Greensboro Airport eastbound. Cherokee 246, ident observed, radar contact, turn right heading 140, VFR altitude, your discretion.
This Cherokee altitude indicates 2,600, they're descending into Shiloh. With our discretion.
Oh man, I thought I had an hour. Nope. Gotta get going, bro, but good to see you. Get some rest,
all right, man.
I'll probably be around later tonight.
Yep, I'm not going anywhere, so I'll be here.
All right, buddy.
Hit me up.
Gotcha.
And see you later. Oh. Such is life. Don't always connect, you know? So, yeah, I'm kind of here doing this, and I think... I'm not sure what I think of this. The product of this little, technique I'm doing here. I'm trying to use an apron object to make this number. It's kind of working, I guess. Like the actual result, whether it's any good or not, is questionable. Guess that looks okay. I mean but that's where the number is, right?
Alright, 70 Charlie Papa, Greensboro,
That's it's bright as all heck. My goodness gracious.
November 300 Victor Mike Greensboro.
But yeah, so I just use the apron object, and it makes it look just like a painted line. Sort of. A white apron.
November 0 Charlie Papa, Greensboro.
Can't really tell the difference, right? So that's the difference. So let's take a look at them side by side here. I can take that and turn that on the border off, so it just looks like a regular number. And we'll put the runway one back. Here's the actual number, the default number, and here's the one I just made.
November 870 Charlie Papa, radar service terminated, squawk VFR, frequency change approved.
See, if I can do it with this number, then I can turn off all of these. I might keep that one, but I can turn these off and just paint these myself also. That way I won't get the ghosting thing. Or I could go with this method here, where I'm just trying to hide the number underneath. And just go with the default one.
I'm currently descending to land at Hotel Bravo India, Greensboro.
Sky 0 Charlie Papa, I understand in Asheboro Airport at your 12 o'clock and 10 miles. Squawk VFR, change to advisory.
And it'll look like that.
Frequency change approved, 870 Charlie Papa.
Oh, decisions, guys, decisions.
November 15246, navigation direct Asheboro approved.
I kind of, you know, with the detail level that I go for, I kind of like the idea of just drawing the number on myself. So I remember I couldn't figure out how to use the painted line object to make the number, but I don't have to use a painted line. I can just use an apron and shape it like the number 4. There we go. And that's just right on top. What do you think? Should we go with that? Should I stick with that? I think I like this method. I just think it looks better. I can apron these too. Instead of painted lining them.
What was the type aircraft
God, it's a
again?
lot of aprons, but I guess it's the same thing as paint. So maybe instead of painting these, I can apron these also.
Q-Mod 6102, 10 degrees right, vector.
So many possibilities here.
10 right and 3000
So this is the really crazy part. If I heard a plane crash happen, I might actually have to act as a witness for this. If I told them that I heard it, then it'll be like I will probably have to actually give an interview, a witness interview for the incident report. But I'm not listening to this. I don't do this for any reason other than I think it's interesting background. It's something that nobody else does, first and foremost. At least I don't know of anybody that does it. And
Helicopter 20075, Roger, clear direct hit guy, then as filed.
And also, I think it's interesting. I mean, it fits the subject matter, right? That's what we're going for here.
Approach, contact ground on 121.9er.
5000.
I am an air traffic controller. We're working on this airport for flight sim stuff. So here's the air traffic control of the airport we're working on.
2000, leaving 3000, direct Genie, jet at 828.
Rhino 90, contact rally approach 127.6.
Uh-oh.
Rhino 090, managed frequency.
So, did you hear how it just got really distant sounding? That's because his trainer was overkeying him. So we have the ability as trainers to hit our button, and then it blocks what the trainee is saying.
Roger, left heading 140, business 102.
So we all have these little push-to-talk buttons, and when the trainer's push-to-talk button goes on, it blocks what the trainee is saying. That's what I'm trying to say, I guess. Let's call that an override.
November 90 Kilo Mike, IFR cancellation received, thank you.
And I like it when trainers use it because the trainer is always responsible for the radar, for the position of which the training is going on. It's the trainer's position. They are responsible for everything that happens while they're training somebody. So if they don't like the way something is going, they should be overkeying and stopping something from happening. You don't just let trainees do things and get in trouble. You have to be there to stop it. It's part of your responsibility as a trainer. This comes with the territory, you know?
November 48, Quebec, turn left heading 040, vector.
So you as the certified controller have to be able to be responsible to stop incidents from occurring. And that includes errors. You know, you gotta stop errors before they happen also, which is harder to do. Sometimes you're sitting there, you're trying to give your trainee some leash, and you're trying to just sit back and let them do what they're gonna do, and they get into trouble like really quick sometimes. Not usually, but sometimes it is possible to get in a lot of trouble really, really fast. So there we go. Look at that. And that is sort of a replacement for what the actual numbers look like.
Departure.
Not bad, right?
7 is with you. Vector 0.
So this one is going to go in there, and it's going to be called number. I'm trying to give these things the names that make sense. So if I look at it, I can tell exactly what it is. So I've got apron 14 and apron 32. Number 1, number 4. This part is not steep enough on the one that I made.
November 2 Bravo Foxtrot, turn right 080 vectors traffic.
for 152 Bravo Fox. Greensboro approach, Delta 2838, 12.8 for 11,000, we have India.
Delta 2838, Greensboro approach, runway 5 right.
For 107 direct, bold.
Go.
7 Bravo Tango, turn left heading of 235.
I like this.
235 and heading 7 Bravo Tango.
November 48 Quebec, turn righting 060.
So look, we're learning all sorts of new techniques here today. Trying some new things. What's up, Isaac? Good to see you, man. Hope you've been practicing hard. You got auditions coming up, right? Got tryouts. Got to get to that practicing. I like that. That'll work for me.
Delta 2838, descend and maintain 900,000.
900,000, Delta 2838.
So I'm getting closer to the... Yeah, so pretty much the only thing that I will need... If I can do this every time, the only thing that I'll need the runway for is the rubber marks. So I can take all the markings off. Threshold markings gone. Fixed distance markings gone. Number and designator at the end gone. And the only thing the runway does is put the rubber marks on. It's otherwise completely transparent. I like that. What do you think, guys? Is that a good way to go? So I'm painting the numbers with an apron property instead of like a painted line. I'm using because I couldn't do these weird diagonals with a painted line and make it look right. So I did an apron instead that traced basically over the number.
Cherokee 15246, traffic now 10 o'clock, no factor. Asheboro Airport 12 o'clock and 10 miles. One VFR target appears within the vicinity. I believe it's the Skyhawk. Change to advisory frequency approved. See you on the way out.
This is for a better turn on the final.
Yeah, no worries, appreciate it.
I like it. It's lovely.
Contact Atlanta Center 128.8.
28.8, switching.
Nice. Well, summertime's a good time to do stuff. Do you have a job or anything? You don't have to tell us where you work if you do, but
Delta 2038, descend maintain 4,000.
that's another thing you gotta. If you do,
Delta 2038, Roger.
then that'll keep you busy as well. You can't just practice all the time. That'll drive you nuts. But it is important. And remember, the important thing about practicing is not necessarily that you are just out there just like a madman ramming notes and stuff constantly, but you gotta practice with a purpose, right? You gotta. Sometimes the purpose isn't to learn something or to even necessarily. You're always trying to get better at something, and it's practice can't just be maintenance. I think a lot of people just practice as maintenance. Like, I'm just doing this to you know, keep my chops up or something. For me, at this point, I got old man chops, so I'm trying to redevelop some sort of chops a lot of the times. But I think there should always be a goal, and the goal needs to be, generally, I think it's best if the goal is like a beats per minute type of thing. Like, if you're playing a certain rudiment in a check pattern or something, you should be trying to get it up to a certain speed. And but we're talking small increments, because you're not going to get huge, like, all of a sudden instant chops or anything just by practicing all the time. So
this approach at Winston-Salem, were you requesting an instrument approach, or did you just want a VFR straight in?
So I think the way to go about it is really just to sort of take talking like maybe a 1 beat per minute increment on a daily basis. If I can do this 1 beat per minute faster with control than I did the last day, then that's good. And I mean, obviously you have to be warmed up and everything first. There's that, but yeah, I think that's kind of what I always went for. And still go for when I'm practicing now.
November 7 Bravo Tango, turn left heading 140.
140 heading 7 Bravo.
How's that look? Now this white is much brighter than the painted white.
Julia, contact Raleigh approach 127.67.
Right, maybe it doesn't need to be quite so bright. That is bright freaking white right there.
November 48 Quebec, 3 miles from final approach fix.
Or how about this? How about instead of it being so stinking bright, I do what I've done with everything else, all these other aprons, and I give it a 215 opacity. Yeah. So then it's not quite so bright anymore. It still kind of sticks out.
November 48 Quebec, you're 2 miles from final approach fix. Turn left heading 360, maintain 3000, still established on localizer, cleared ILS, running 33 approach.
I'm heading 360, 3000, still established on the localizer, ILS, 33.
Man, I can't believe I didn't think of this earlier. That is way easier than painting 3 individual lines across there.
0.
Heading 080, Delta 2838.
Delta 2838, join final.
Join final, Delta 2838.
So now, every time I do this,
7 kilo verify, you said 3,500 or 5,500? 5,500.
rep the basics.
2838.
Delta 2838.
David, how did you?
Right,
What did you? Oh, you retracted your own message? Someone must have retracted your thing there. That's interesting.
November 7 Bravo Tango, 2 miles from final approach fix. Turn left heading 080, maintain at about 3,000, still established on localizer, cleared ILS.
I never got to see it. Now I want to know what it was. All right, David, tell us about your 800. What is that? 800 euro PC upgrade?
4,000 VFR appears southwestbound.
Isn't the euro now is this? It's equal to $1, I think. So as of like a day or two ago. I'm sure everybody's really happy about that.
And Greensboro departure 4 Romeo. We are on course for Shiloh, leaving 1,700 feet.
Number 3, correction, 6341 Romeo, Greensboro departure radar contact VFR altitude, your discretion.
See our discretion 4 Romeo.
Greensboro approach, Skyhawk 701 uniform, northeast of Martinsville, 2.5 miles north of Martinsville, at 4400 on the 5500, requesting flight following to Richardson Hotel.
There's a disc, by the way. I don't know what to do with it otherwise, but that's what it looks like.
November 7 Lima uniform, Roger, say type aircraft.
Cessna Skyhawk 701 uniform.
Okay.
November 7 Bravo Tango, contact tower 119.1, we'll talk to you on the go.
I'll head over to the tower, we'll see you in a bit, 7 Bravo Tango.
November 0 Victor Mike, contact Atlanta Center 125.15, good day.
125.15, 3 have it back.
November 1 Lima uniform, squawk 7133.
Squawk 7133.
Let's try that. Different opacities here. I go down to 125. What does it look like? Now it's not dark enough. Not bright enough.
November 3 Romeo Tango, contact Atlanta Center 125.15, good day.
2515, Romeo Tango, good day.
Call it 200. I can do that. 200 is the number I'm going to use for these. Still see them through them a little bit, I guess. I don't know.
Departure 350 Whiskey Charlie, 2,300 for 5,000 runway head.
Citation 350 Whiskey Charlie, Greensboro departure radar contact, climb maintain 12,000, leaving 3,000, clear direct Genie.
Up to 1, 2,000 and 3,000 direct Genie.
Something's different here. There's definitely something different about this. This one is runway asphalt. This one is taxi concrete. Yeah, I could tell there was something different. There was definitely something different about these. What's this? Runway asphalt. Okay. I think this is a little tighter than that. This is bigger grain, finer grain.
Citations here, Whiskey Charlie, contact Washington Center, 124.05.
So if I make that taxi asphalt.
2405 for 0 Whiskey Charlie.
November 1 Lima uniform, your radar contact 8 miles southeast of the Martinsville Airport. Altimeter 3016, verify 5,500.
3016, altimeter at 5,500. November 701 Lima uniform.
November 701 Lima uniform, roger. Contact Washington Center 124.05. Okay.
Center 12405. 01 Lima uniform.
Lima uniforms are aircraft from Liberty University in Lynchburg, Virginia. Yeah, why does this one look different than that one? What is going on? Truck, conch surface. Everything here is the same. Taxi concrete. Runway asphalt. Let's try runway asphalt and see what it looks like.
Hi, Greensboro departure 737 Bravo Tango is with you on the Miss ILS 5.
Whatever.
November 737 Bravo Tango, Greensboro departure, ident, information Papa current, expect the localizer approach, runway 33 at Winston-Salem.
Roger, ident, Bravo Tango.
Alright, so he says, let's see. I have a bad habit of just trying to play something new at tempo. I'm trying to stop that and take things slow and work my way up to tempo. So yeah, so I don't spend a whole lot of time learning new music. I just try to, I'm trying to establish technique. I'm trying to regain the technique that I used to have and actually improve upon it. So I play a lot of just basic stuff to the metronome, and I'm just working on everything's about feel, and everything is about just trying to keep all the muscles, all the little individual muscles, the little fine motor muscles in your hands, your wrists, your arms, kind of just loose and not just eliminate tension at all costs. And you try to kind of figure out, well, how am I going to play this rudiment, this accent pattern at this tempo? Because every tempo is a different technique, believe it or not. Because every tempo you have to do things go faster. It's a little more arm, a little less wrist, a little more finger, a little less wrist. Kind of do those sort of trade-offs. You can't play everything exactly the same at every tempo. It just doesn't work that way. So obviously you want to try to use the wrist as much as you can, but be free enough with your wrist so that you're not choking off the stick. So that means you're not gripping the stick super hard, and you don't have as many fingers. Like my right finger, I don't actually really put my forefinger on the stick hardly at all. I hold it like this, right? Which is kind of a drum set approach, but that's how I do it when I play marching snare also. I don't wrap it around the stick, because I don't want the fulcrum to be here. I want the fulcrum to be in the back. So for me, the fulcrum it's a rear fulcrum. That's where I really get the weight of the stick. And the same thing for the left the left hand, the fulcrum's not up here in the fingers, so they're going to be on the stick, but they're not choking the stick. I'm not squeezing it super hard. This thing can just slide in and right in and out, and it's all from the fulcrum is from the back. So I'm rotating around the thumb kind of this way, so that makes sense. So that you can see the rotation point is in the back.
I have an amendment to your clearance when you're ready to copy.
That's where you get the real energy and weight of the stick through the drum and get the good full sound. That helps with diddles and stuff like that, kind of what we were talking about before. Nobody cares about this other than Isaac. We're talking technique. All right, David. 32 gigabytes DDR4, new power supply, new CPU, water cooler, and some fans. So I see I've got a nice 1200 watt power supply, got a water cooler, some fans that make colors and things like that. 32 gigs of DDR4, good. Ryzen 7 Corsair H100i, that's good. So that's the one of the all-in-one solutions, which I'm a big fan of for the CPU. CX750 is, I'm guessing, the power supply. LL120s. I think I'm on LLs. Yeah, so I got 3 120s here. I got a 140 up there and a 140 down there. Those are all LLs. And then you can maybe kind of see them in this picture. I don't know, but there's 4 Noctua fans in the front. I didn't make them I didn't do LED lights because I want them to be quiet, number one, and also you can't see them, so if you can't see them, what's the point? That's cool gig. Which Ryzen 7 processor did you get out of curiosity?
12 o'clock, opposite direction, 20 miles, is a CN35, 6000.
CN35 is a Casa. Casa. Come on, Will, say Casa. Alright, so we're doing aprons. The aprons are the game now.
I'll keep you updated on the traffic now, about 15 miles.
It's my new meta. So I'm going to put this one into the edge lighting. Or edge lines. I did double up on those edge lines. Maybe that is part of the reason why it looks so different. Okay. Let's draw a rectangle. You would think that this would be fairly easy.
5,800 climbing to 7,500.
Viking 93 copies, sir.
I'm going to get rid of so many of these lines because of this. This is going to be great. I think the center line, having this be a line, is still the way to go because it's just a single line. It works just fine. Alright, so got the apron selected, not doing a disc, we're doing default. Uno, dos, tres, catorce. There we go. Anybody that speaks any Spanish at all knows that that's from a song. That's not actually how you count to 4. Because catorce is not 4. Catorce is 14.
November 554 Quebec, Greensboro departure, radar contact, VFR altitude your discretion, and on navigation at Statesville.
Discretion on navigation Staples, Quebec.
November 2 Bravo Foxtrot, contact Washington Center, 124.05, good day.
Viking 93 copies.
Scott K 7 kilo traffic, 1 o'clock, 7 miles, 6,000.
Alright. So this is going to be priority 2. Enable color correction. Give me white. And then I want 215 opacity. And we're going to make this runway asphalt. Draw it. Oh, big old piece of paint.
Cherokee 15246, Greensboro approach, ident, altimeter 3017.
For Quebec, we're going to plan on a practice approach.
push over the stage. Hopefully get the handoff to Atlanta later on down the road here.
Cherokee 246, radar contact 5 miles northeast of Asheboro Airport. VFR altitude your discretion. On navigation direct Raleigh Durham approved.
Looks pretty good from far away too. I do say so myself.
Atlanta Center might not want to talk to you at 2,500 feet. I don't know if you want to climb up or, but I'll coordinate with them and see what they say at 2,500.
Yeah, we'll head on up to 3,500. 40th breath.
November 4 at Quebec, Roger, VFR altitude your discretion.
Okay, here we go.
November 7 Bravo Tango, contact Winston Tower 123.75.
Winston Tower 7 Bravo Tango, so on.
Yeah, eights. So eights, you got to go kind of molar after a while, and it's the sound quality suffers if you want speed. Molar is a pain. I don't like molar. Use the push-pull technique, which is not my strong suit at all.
Cherokee 246, walk 7152. 7152, 7152.
7152.
The trick about practice, man, is you've got to be warmed up. So having a good warm-up routine versus like, and there's different types of warming up. You got to warm up your legato strokes, you know, just your eights type of thing, and doing just 8 on a hand that's a crap way to warm up. You need to get good at integrating 2 hands together. So something with 16ths, where it's alternating sticking. I think alternating sticking, doing like Hertas and stuff like that. We used to call them Berthas, but doing stuff like that is better than just doing 8 on a hand, in my opinion, because you're not just warming your hands up, but you're also tuning your ears, warming your ears up, your listening ability, to make sure that your hands and your ears are in sync. You know, your brain says play this rudiment. Make sure that what your brain says to play is translating into your hands, but it actually sounds accurate also.
8,000. Expect that as a final. And when able, clear direct to Asheville.
There you go.
8,000 direct to Asheville. What was your promise?
Yeah, you have to be relaxed. They want to see that you're relaxed, and they don't, because they want to know that if so. I'll say this. One of the tricks about being in any sort of ensemble is they don't expect your chops to be like amazing from day one. And usually, because they're going to want to try to change a lot of your stuff, a lot of the way you play anyway, which to match whatever their technique is and stuff to make, and that makes sense, just because you want to kind of try to make everybody's hands in the line look kind of similar at least. And some lines emphasize that more than others, but so yeah, so that being said, you're gonna have to. You're not necessarily gonna be able to play everything they want exactly the way they want it at tempo. So you're gonna have to spend some time kind of working the technique, getting a feel for it, and learning how to play it at various tempos. And so, like when we did in drum corps, nobody ever expected you to be at your finals chops from day one from audition. It was always a build throughout the summer. So it was the line as a whole should be able to play much better, much faster by the end of the summer, because you're playing every single day, all day, every day. Maybe not specifically playing all day, but you're playing a ton, several hours every day in a line, and everybody should be kind of progressing along a certain line. And there's just there's limits, obviously, to where your chops can go.
I have no clue. I'm
You
not
just
talking to
you can't play everything at 3,000 beats per minute, so it's not even worth it.
Here in a second, depending on what they do.
But yeah, there's a lot of progress that can be made in just working with a Met and just kind of just playing for a long time, and just tuning your ears, making sure that your strokes are all even, they sound even, they're in time. That's the hard part. Playing a 16-note check in time, and doing like the stick control thing, like I was talking about, where you're changing the stick patterns, the stickings, and still trying to make it sound exactly the same every single time. That's hard. That's not easy to do, and it takes hours of practice to tune. And it's not that you're you're tuning your hands necessarily, you're tuning your ears, you're tuning the mind to play something a certain way, to hear it a certain way. Because if you're not hearing it the right way, this is how you become a good individual player, by the way, and not just an ensemble player. But you have to be able to hear things correctly and hear the differences, the subtle differences in things. So when you really start listening, you can find out all sorts of interesting things about your own playing. And then an instructor, a teacher, really becomes pointless after a while. Hey, look at that.
Mike Greensboro approach, Roger, advise me of the weather and expect the visual approach into Twin Lakes.
I'm really liking where this is headed, man. I think we're moving in a really good direction with this stuff. Using aprons instead of painted lines for the runway marks. What an ingenious idea.
Ski Bravo, traffic now 1 o'clock, 5 miles northeastbound. The only one that should be a factor is, or only one may be a factor. It should pass about 2.5 miles off your right side, 5,600 indicated.
Okay, we're still looking, no joy, but we'll carry the traffic.
This isn't necessarily going to work everywhere, I don't think. Like, I want to move over here real quick. Runway object.
Number 685, negative, your routing is actually perfect for the LOA and the way Charlotte's flying with the runways today. So, Kansas Chesterfield at 4,000 is exactly how you need to fly, sir.
Asheville, that'll put you right behind that traffic, no factor.
4,000. What is going on here? There should be fixed distance markings. Turn them off. Touchdown markings. Center.
That routing is good.
Number. Precision markings.
Pekin,
it's not turning any of these things off. There we go.
Papa Echo Kilo November. Then direct. We could get you back up to 6,000 if you prefer that.
Yeah, that'd be fine. Direct second TE.
Number 685, Papa Echo Kilo November.
There we go. So we look through. Let's try to see if this is something that could work on every runway.
Climb and maintain 6,000.
Roger, we're at a 4.1 per 6 and direct Pekin.
I guess it is.
Greensboro, Viking 93 request.
5.15, good day.
Alright, over to Atlanta Center on 2515.
November 4335, my copy of the weather.
Hickory.
Viking 93, I missed the tail end of that. You want to cancel IFR and do flight following?
Affirmative, and we're going to drop in a state still for one approach and then proceed on to Hickory, Viking 93.
Viking 93, IFR, cancellation.
Oh, it makes them wider for precision markings. That's what makes the center lines wider. Okay.
And maintain present squawk. We'll be dropping on to 4,500, Viking 93.
Additional VFR traffic is 10 o'clock, 5 miles northeastbound, 5,600.
We're looking for him too. We got him on an ADSB, one with Bravo.
It's 5,500 indicated. Number 1, Whiskey Bravo, traffic no factor. Contact Atlanta Center 125.15. Good day.
2515, have a great day. 1 Whiskey Bravo.
Viking 903, contact Atlanta Center 125.
Viking 93, remain as frequency per second.
Viking 993.
All right. Sorry, I was just looking at the other runway to see if I could use this on all of them. It looks like I can. So at least on runways anyway, they don't put black borders on any of the markings, which is helpful. That seems to be a taxiway thing. So when it comes time to do taxi, I can't do that for lines.
November 35 Mike, descend maintain 6,000.
So Isaac, do you play set also? That's an important question that I have for you. It's a very important question. It is of utmost importance.
Approach Skylane 1910 Mike.
Skylane 1910 Mike, Greensboro approach, altimeter 301.
I kind of wish I could make these just rectangles. I don't think the rectangle proper object works like that.
November 39 Papa Romeo, Greensboro departure, radar contact, climb maintain 9,000, turn right heading 020, vectors for your climb.
9,000, 020, Papa.
November 43 Golf Radar Service terminates squawk VFR for exchange approved.
Yeah, I have not traditionally been a big drum set player. I have a Roland E drum set kit, but I don't really play it much. I should. It's been collecting dust for a while, but so the reason I ask is there's the approach that I recommend people do when you're practicing is you play to recorded music. Not, this is something that my teacher back in the day taught me too, but don't try not to play to a metronome all the time, because a metronome is not real. You know, it's very, you're never going to perform well. I won't say never, but especially in like a drum corps / marching percussion setting, you're not really going to play a whole lot to a metronome with a click. So you have to learn how to play to a groove, and so playing to recorded music that has a steady tempo is really good. And you can look up all sorts of music online that has a specific beats per minute and stuff like that to find different stuff. Something that's in a 12/8 feel or like a 4/4 feel, even a 3 feel really. But so I don't know if you use this Dr. Betot or Betot or whatever the heck this thing's called. This app right here. This is what I use now on my iPhone, and I have Dr. Beats. I have a couple different Dr. Beats, old school. They work just fine, but those things are not as good. You can just get a free app on a phone now. I used to spend so much money on Dr. Beats. So this is what I do when I practice. I don't practice, like, if I'm practicing something in 4, I got this going. 2, 3. I wouldn't play 8s like 2. No, so this is what I would do. I put it in 2. So, and I use the higher pitch as like a snare upbeat. So, left, right, so I'm kind of playing it. I'm trying to make a groove, kind of a feel with something that's more like a drum set, kind of where you have the accents are on 2 and 4 instead of being on always on the 1, because that's just not how music is generally. But when you play along to music, you're kind of trying to do that. You're feeling the bass drum is the downbeat as opposed to the high pitched snare in the downbeat. So I kind of try to, when I'm playing stuff that I'm trying to groove along with, I usually have some sort of a groove going in my head, and I'm trying to match it to the metronome. And I'm playing upbeats. I'm playing the downbeat is the 2 and 4 a lot of the time. So that's kind of a different kind of, I don't know if it really helps all that much, but I think in terms of feeling groove, it's kind of, feeling groove is a lot more important than just playing in time. You have to be able to play to what you're listening to. And so listening skills are huge, especially in a competitive ensemble like a WGI group or a DCI group. A DCA group. So that would be one thing I would recommend, is try to improve listening skills, because those are very, very important. I don't know I don't know what your listening skills are, so I can't say anything other than that generally.
November 23685, contact Bayville approach 127.8. 27.8 is a good 5.
Hey, when it's me and Isaac in the same room, we share other interests other than just flight simulators.
November 2 Bravo Kilo, the airport's 11
and he's learning.
And 10 miles towards field inside.
Field inside 2 Bravo
but
November 2 Bravo Kilo, clear visual approach runway 33.
Actually, now that I think about it, we don't really hardly ever talk about flight simulator. It's always drums. But yeah, my name Snare 17 doesn't just come from anywhere. It has nothing to do with aviation, that's for sure.
31's climbing through 2.1 for 5,000.
And his Twitch handle was Isaac the Drummer, so I asked a question one day about whether he was a drummer, and he told me what kind of drumming he did, and fair enough, lo and behold, he's who I was several years ago. Which is pretty cool. So now I can do all of these markings exactly the right spot. This is cool. It's a little time consuming, I'm not gonna lie. Sure, this is all the same. It is. Copy properties just in case I forget to do something.
We'll take
Duplicates.
Bonanza 6 Delta Charlie Roger, descend and maintain 6,000.
726.
Sky 50 Bravo, squawk 3640.
It's playing drums is not a prerequisite for enjoying this channel. It's a perk though. It's an added, it's a bonus feature, we'll call it. If you play drums, you have one more thing in common to talk about.
November 5088, contact Washington Center 124.05.
124.05, have you on there?
Fives, nines. I like sevens, but actually fivelets, you play like playing them in time. Or it's hard to do, but I actually like if I'm working on like flam rudiments, things like flam taps, not flam taps, flam drags. You know, cheese fives, stuff like that. Flam fives, whatever you call them. People have different names for it. I like to play those in fives instead of in like a triple pattern. A lot of people play them in like a triple check pattern, and I'm not down with that. I think it doesn't. I'm trying to isolate a lot of these things sometimes, and most of the time, and I don't feel like you're really isolating the rudiment too much if you only have one note that is not a diddle or a flam in between the rudiment and the next rudiment. So I like to play them in fives. So I'll play like. Etc. And it just really helps you isolate what, like the diddle, keeping it low, the flam, the grace of the flam, keeping it low, and all that stuff, and of just feeling the accent and not feeling the tap as much. And so it's a good way to kind of space things out and just let it breathe a little bit more, and really get good at playing every individual note of the rudiment. And you can play that any triple rudiment, anything that's kind of that's traditionally triple based. You can play it in five, probably a lot easier, and it really makes it so that when you get to the triple thing, you're just playing hand to hand. It just feels like you're doing right, left, as opposed to feeling every single note. It starts to feel like it's just all one rudiment all of a sudden, all one hand. I like that. That's how you get good and warmed up too. It's also a good way to play tap drags, like tap rolls. I mean. Play them with different numbers of. It doesn't all have to be 16ths. It doesn't all have to be sextuplets. Play in fives and sevens and stuff like that. Then you get kind of a hand to hand, so you're alternating accents as opposed to just always being off the right hand.
Still Jet 30807, you ready to copy?
And you can do a left hand lead too. It's a really good way to go with those. That's how you really get some good dexterity.
5119.
The underutilized left-hand lead.
For 39 and Papa Romeo, contact Raleigh approach 132.35. Good day.
3235, good day.
Or 1910 Mike, contact Fayetteville approach 127.8.
27.8, 10 Mike, good day.
Never heard of trusting spaces. Sounds interesting. Feel free.
Steel Jet 807, Lexington Airport, 12 o'clock, 10 miles. Steel Jet 807, Greensboro, verify you have the field in sight. Steel Jet 807, IFR cancellation received. Squawk VFR, change to advisory frequency approved. See you.
approach, 439 X-ray, that you guys cancel.
4349 X-ray, IFR cancellation received. Correction, you are VFR, sir. Maintain VFR and change to advisory approved.
I'll say this: if you're trying out for an indoor line, you're probably going to be on a 13-inch snare. Look, I think you said you guys play on 13-inch snares at your school, which there's nothing wrong with that, but it definitely sounds or produces different amounts of sound than a 14-inch snare does. And if you do decide to start marching in a core line, like a summer line, then you're probably going to want to get access to a 14-inch snare if you don't already have access to that to practice on, because it is, and maybe even like a harness, because it is definitely a weight difference. For carrying it, and it will really kind of change the way you play rim shots and stuff. It's because it's bigger, different kind of stick, obviously, and it's going to sound a lot louder too. Definitely, I hope you wear ear protection. You don't want to be like me. I went through my entire high school career drumming pretty much not wearing ear protection, and my left ear is not in good shape. I remember standing, be out there on the field in the middle of a rehearsal. Instructor would come and play something on my drum for the rest of the line to listen to. Just be playing all sorts of rim shots on his right hand while he did so, and it just, I remember my left ear just hurting. Like, it was like painful sometimes, and I did not realize the damage that I was doing to my ear that whole time.
Departure, citation 34 Romeo,
but
off of Greensboro, 2000, climbing 5.
And now here I am in my profession, where we have to obtain an airman's second class airman's medical certificate and everything to be able to do our job. We have to be able to maintain it so that we get checked every 2 years. Actually, I think starting next year I get checked every 1 year. But we have to do these medical evaluations, and I have to be able to pass it. And there's an ear test, hearing test, and that's something that I'm always sweating. Like, oh my gosh, my left ear sucks. My left ear hearing sucks. I hope they don't disqualify me. They never do, but it's something that I stress out about a little bit. So.
November 35 Mike, clear vision approaching Twin Lakes Airport, forecast station via farthest frequency area down.
You may have a job someday that depends on your ability to hear out of your ears. I didn't have any inclination that that's what my job would be at the time, but here we are.
Squawk VFR for 35 Mike. Thanks for your help today.
Hello, Anu 222. Interesting things you're typing there. Please tell me there's more to you than just that. But welcome to the channel nonetheless. Are those flags? Is that what those are?
Skyline 125 Kilo Charlie, Greensboro approach, altimeter 3016.
Listen to maintain 3000.
Listen to maintain 3000.
It's so awesome how like Isaac, you're talking about, oh, I'll send you this, I'll send you that, and you just all the digital stuff that you guys have, man. When I was playing, we didn't have any of that junk. It's like if you wanted to get some music, somebody had to photocopy it on paper. Maybe and that was, I guess we could do PDFs back then too. We had PDFs. That's how we got all of our audition stuff, and things have changed so much. I actually used to do for our show music when I was first starting in drum corps. Our caption head actually used to, our composer, I guess, the guy who wrote the battery parts, would actually do it on paper, send it to me, and then I'd do it digitally. So either didn't know how to, I think he usually always had somebody else do it. Then I got to do a couple of parts and stuff like that too, and said, oh, just I need to change this. Put something in that makes sense. Yeah, kind of like you were doing before. It's kind of cool. All right. You get to walk around and see that measure we just played, man. I wrote that measure. thinking that really mattered.
November 4 Lima Delta, the airport is 2 o'clock and 1 miles. What's the insight?
Hey, we got insight. We can cancel IFR 4 Lima Delta.
November 4 Lima Delta, IFR cancellation received. Squawk VFR, change advisory frequency approved. Have a good one.
Have a good one, 4 Lima Delta.
November 4 Romeo Lima, just waiting. Actually, you can contact center now, 128.8. Good day. Atlanta Center.
28.8, 34 Romeo Lima. Have a good one, guys.
128.8, just to verify.
This is me. It's like 100% the custom method for everything now. What method do you use? I use the custom method. Why? Because it looks better.
Limburg 4494, turn right heading 235, vectors downwind. 235, Limburg 4494.
3000 cleared, RNAV runway 21 approach, Asheboro Airport.
Liberty at or above 3000 cleared, RNAV 21, 229 right with you.
See how slanted this is right here? That's kind of driving me crazy. This part of the runway definitely slants down to the left. Snare science? What the heck is snare science? Sounds something. Sounds kind of important, like something I should know. And I feel like such a dinosaur talking to you sometimes.
Departure PMI 6102, climbing 25 for 5.
Piedmont 6102, Greensboro departure, radar contact. Climb maintain 12000, clear direct Genie.
12,000 direct Genie, Piedmont 6102. Got a 5-3 checking in, 8,100 for 6,000, and I've got the weather at Burlington, and I've got Burlington in sight, so I can go ahead and cancel IFR.
Skylab 53, Greensboro, approach Greensboro, altimeter 3016, IFR cancellation received, squawk VFR change to advisory frequency approved.
Squawk VFR, frequency change, Skylab 53. Departure approach 583.6 for 5,000.
Section 583, Greensboro departure, radar contact. Do not exceed 230 knots for in-trail spacing. Climb maintain 5,000.
5 left, contact tower 119.1, good day.
2 visual 5 left over to tower, we'll see you at Limburg 4494.
It's a really old website that has tons of exercise and a forum for people to ask questions and get feedback. I believe they also have a library full of UCNW. Oh, cool. It's really neat that stuff like that's even available.
Section 583.
Because it sure wasn't back in my day.
070 vectors for spacing.
Our turn 070 for spacing, push up 583.
Piedmont 6102, contact at Washington Center 124.05, good day.
124.05, Piedmont 6102.
Flagship 583, climb maintain 6,000.
Leave 5,000 for 6,000, push up 583.
And human eyes don't like seeing vertical lines moving across like that is, ugh. It messes with the rods and cones, man.
Flagship 583, climb maintain 8,000.
Continue climb to 8,000, flagship 583.
Greensboro Tower, Cherokee 32540.
Tower?
Cherokee 32540, Greensboro approach, go ahead.
Greensboro approach, Cherokee 540. I'm just northeast of 8 Alpha 7 at 3,900 for 5,500. Requesting flight following to Danville with information India. Cherokee 540.
Roger, stand by for squawk. November 540, squawk 1711.
Squawk 1711, Cherokee 540.
November 32540, your radar contact 7 miles northeast of Twin Lakes Airport. The altimeter is 3016, altitude leaving.
3016, thank you, Cherokee 540.
Cherokee 540, say altitude.
Altitude is 4,400, Cherokee 540.
Roger, thank you.
Flagship 583, climb maintain 12,000.
Climb 12,000, flagship 583. Greensboro approach, Hawker 599, Lima Papa, checking in 13,000.
Flagship 583, contact Washington Center 124.05.
2405, flagship 583C.
November 599er Lima Papa, Greensboro.
And confirm checking in 13,000.
November 9er Lima Papa, reset transponder squawk 6507.
6507, they just give us that, should be on that now.
Sorry, November 9er Lima Papa, squawk 5667.
5667, not no problem.
And November 9er Lima Papa, descend to maintain 5,000.
And down to 5,000, not no problem.
Greensboro approach, Skyhawk 704, leading uniform, level 5,500.
November 9er Lima Papa, contact Raleigh approach 125.3.
Raleigh approach 25-3, now my top thing. Approach citation 422, Charlie Lima, cross Hemby at 12,000, sending 15-2, and we have a French in India.
November 422, Charlie Lima, Greensboro approach, roger. Would you like runway 5 left or 5 right?
5 right.
November 2, Charlie Lima, roger, runway 5 right.
Hey, approach TBM 227, Charlie Hotel 6,000, FDI.
TBM 227 Charlie Hotel, Greensboro approach, Greensboro, altimeter 3016, runway 5 right short.
5 right short, hotel.
Who's calling up level at 3,000?
November 125 Kilo Charlie, level 6,000.
And 125 Kilo Charlie, Greensboro approach.
There we go.
Greensboro approach, Skyhawk 704, leaving uniform with 5,600 and climbing up to 7,500. Good morning.
TBM 220 Charlie Hotel, Greensboro approach. Good morning, Greensboro, altimeter 3016, runway 5 right, shortened.
Short 5 right, chop a little, thanks.
Yeah. Altimeter 3016.
16704, leaving uniform.
November 7 Charlie Hotel, use caution, similar sounding call sign 0 Charlie Hotel, also on frequency, and fly heading 280 vectors, final approach course.
280, Central.
November 0 Charlie Hotel, use caution, similar sounding call sign TBM 7 Charlie Hotel, also on frequency.
Advise me of the weather at Burlington and expect the visual approach into the airport. November 8 Bravo Raw, Greensboro, altimeter 3016.
That didn't take long. Zymox.
At your discretion.
That's what we all used. I think I have. Let me go see. Go grab it.
November 2 Charlie Lima, descend and maintain 7,000.
Maintain 7,000, 2 Charlie Lima.
Contact Washington Center 124.05.
Contact Roanoke approach 126.9er, good day.
50 Bravo, good day.
Yeah.
November 7 Charlie Hotel, descend and maintain
I've had this
4,000.
thing since
4007 Charlie Hotel.
2001, I want to say. It's worn some hole in it, that's for sure. That's they used to be called Zymox. It's called an X-Pad now. X-Pad by, well, at least it was then, by ProMark. I think marketed. They make those still. Let's see, ProMark X-Pad. Oh, they do.
Greensboro approach.
That's a dinky one, though.
Can we go ahead and get over on advisory?
November Diner Whiskey, change to advisory.
And then Real Feel was also out there. I didn't like the feel of Real Feel. It didn't feel real at all. It's too gummy. So I used the Zymax, the X-Pad type stuff. It's double side. I have a tap space round pad also that has a rim on it. I don't like the feel of it. The sound of it's a little too dull, but yeah. So I actually generally play this pad on top of the tap space pad.
Hotel, turn left heading at 280 vectors, final approach course.
I have a stand that it goes on to. Yeah, I've always used the bigger ones like this. We used to have, they'd have the same versions would have like beads in it and stuff like that. Like, oh, I'm playing a snare. And those things are stupid. They were never any good, I didn't think.
November 7
I don't really like the way this runway looks.
Approach 124.35.
2435, Central Hotel, bye. Hey, approach CBM 227 Hotel, 5,000, sending 4,000, heading 280.
All right.
227 Charlie Hotel, Greensboro.
All right.
Sure, that's at 744, 2.5, 5,000 runway heading.
Jet 744, Greensboro, departure radar contact. Climb maintain 6,000, leaving 3,000, clear direct Wayne.
Climb to 6,000 out of 3,000 direct Wayne, Jet 744.
Right. 12 objects just deleted. I'll just replace it with 6 objects.
November 7 Charlie.
Fewer objects has to be a good thing, I would think.
Enter a right base, clear visual approach 25 right.
What do you use?
119.1.
Right base.
I like these because they're double-sided, though I never ever use the backside. Like, it has a little bit of use under it, but not much. And it's just too loud.
I maintain 1-2000.
I don't.
I maintain 1-2000 at 744.
I guess that's okay. That sounds much better. This is better for the family. Got me wanting to play now. I got the pad, I got the sticks. Oh. I'm not warmed up at all, and I'm not in a good playing position. That was terrible.
November 0 Bravo Lima, did you want to talk to Charlotte Approach?
We'll just pretend that never happened.
No, we're just going to stay with you, and then we're heading to you after we land at REQ.
November 0 Charlie Hotel, turn left heading 235, vectors downwind, contact tower, correction, contact approach 124.35.
Off-world invader drum pad. Let me see. Let me look this up.
Greensboro citation 22 Charlie.
Like I said, mine is 21 years old. Oh, look at that. Off-world percussion.
Negative. That was for
That's a pretty cool pad.
It's going to be a 220 Charlie Hotel on frequency as
well. $74.17. Holy moly. What is that? What is the surface?
220 Charlie Hotel, Greensboro.
Laminate surface.
Maintain 3,000.
That's kind of looks like Kevlar.
IR active. Military route active, and they are going to be operating 3,000 and below. Just use caution. Radar service terminated.
Oh, looks like Evans has bought Real Feel.
The traffic to follow will be.
Yep, Evans Real Feel. It's another version of.
The 2,300.
Traffic that's starting is way up to the north, so it shouldn't be a
interesting. I've not seen this before, but this looks pretty cool.
Heading 235.
Slint drum pad stand. The heck is Slint? That looks. I would not ever buy that.
November 0 Charlie Hotel. Do you have the field in sight?
That's a cool pad. It's off-world percussion pad.
In 7 miles.
We have the field. 0 Travel Hill.
That off-world pad is exactly the same thing as my tap space one. Hang on.
Right base clear visual approach 25 right contact tower 119.1.
Blue Street 5390 Greensboro approach Greensboro altimeter 3016 verify information Juliet and runway 5 right.
28A today 744. Juliet and what's that for 5 left if we can get it?
Here's the tap space
Blue
pad.
Street 5390 expect runway 5 left.
It's pretty. It looks almost exactly the same as that off-world one. The rim and everything looks pretty much the same, if not very similar. But it has this little different gum surface here, which I like a lot. And then it has sort of a similar logo spot down there that says tap space on it. Tap space, of course, was started by Vanguard drum guys. So yeah. I've not played on that pad a whole lot because, like I said, I don't care for the surface.
November 0 Charlie Hotel, contact tower 119.1 if you show up.
End up hitting rim a little more than I would like, and the problem with having a rim on your pad is your rim shots will actually screw up your sticks. So
November 43 Golf radar contact.
You go through sticks too fast when you're playing on a pad that has rims.
And expect runway 5 right.
Alright, expecting 5 right, and we've got Juliet 43 Golf.
November 2 Charlie Lima, descend and maintain 3,000.
Descend and maintain 3,000, 2 Charlie Lima.
For R6, 15 and a half, descend at 130.
November 5 Kilo Charlie, contact Atlanta Center 128.8, good day.
128.8,
The Foxtrot Tango November 6, what's the call sign?
Front runner.
Front runner 6, Greensboro approach, Roger, descend and maintain 8,000, Greensboro altimeter 3016.
Down to 8,000, front runner 6.
November 2 Charlie Lima, turn left heading 140, vectors base.
Left 140, 22 Charlie Lima.
Number 125 Kilo Charlie, go ahead.
So this is actually exactly how I wanted this stream to go today. I didn't want it to be super serious. I didn't want to have like a certain like rubric that I was trying to adhere to. I just wanted to sit down, chill, talk to some people as they come in and out, and get some stuff done.
The airport is 10 o'clock and 900 miles port field in sight.
This is exactly how I wanted it to go.
November 22 Charlie Lima, clear visitor approach runway 5 right, contact tower 119.1.
119.1 and cleared visual approach 5 right, 22 Charlie Lima, see ya.
November 8 Bravo Golf, contact approach 126.6, good day.
26.6, 738 Bravo Golf. Greensboro approach, Skyhawk 738 Bravo Golf on 26.6.
November 738 Bravo Golf, Greensboro approach, roger.
Roger. See, is Nomad still flying? Oh, he is. Looks like it's getting close to landing.
I don't know where that is. Not Valdor. Think of it. Top of my head, I can't think of that one.
Frontrunner 6, I was just showing your ident flashing. Let's verify you can still hear me.
First, maintain 6,000.
Have we not flapped to
6
yet?
Roger, you have VFR traffic 12 o'clock, 15 miles opposite direction. Skyhawk 7,500 VFR.
Overspeeding.
I'll be looking for him, Frontrunner 6.
Get straight this way. Okay.
It's pretty.
Flying public approach for 21 out of Astro.
November 2298 Whiskey, Greensboro departure ident, Greensboro altimeter 3016. Climb maintain 4,000.
Climb maintain 4,000, 2298 Whiskey.
Yeah, Manchester app was really good. Alright, flaps full.
Jackson Hole traffic, Delta 696 on 7A miles finals, runway 19, Jackson Hole.
November 43 Golf, enter left base, runway 5 right.
Whiskey radar contact 3 miles south of Ashboro Airport.
Alright.
And your next approach request is the VOR DME to Burlington.
Yes, if we could
That's good.
the DME ARC at Burlington via Liberty, that'd be great.
November 908 Whiskey, leaving 2,500.
Pad hands problem. How would you describe the pad hands problem?
Burlington.
It's always interesting to hear what people have to say about that.
12,000. Liberty,
November 936 Papa Greensboro approach, Greensboro altimeter.
I have not played on a drum in a long time, so I probably have pad hands, like really bad pad hands.
Approach runner 6, we're going to stop at 11. Alright, 2435, Lucy 5390.
Doesn't say reason.
Don't tell me that's an airplane.
Alright, well 1000, we're just going to let that plane go, and we want to keep it a little fast.
No, I think we're all...
Frontrunner 6, roger.
And approach 43 Golf, is it okay for us to descend here? Do you want to keep us at 3,000 to work with the term?
November 43 Golf, VFR altitude, your discretion, contact tower 119.1.
Let's see, so
VFR
I'll
altitude, our discretion,
draw that surface.
43 Golf, thank you.
November 540,
And
VFR
that
altitude, your
surface.
discretion.
VFR altitude, my
That
discretion,
surface.
62540.
It was an airplane.
650, 390, 6,000,
Oh, looks nice.
Blue Streak 5390, Greensboro approach, roger, send maintain 4,000.
Down to 4,000, Blue 650, 390.
It's nice that they
Frontrunner 6,
give Nomad like transcoding now.
Get you down for restrictions with center.
Alright, down 6,000 in Frontrunner 6.
Just doesn't have the bit rate to make 1080p look good.
And Greensboro approach, good afternoon, Warrior 4349er, X-ray. It's approximately 20 miles to the southwest, so we have Juliet inbound 3,200.
Number 4349 X-ray squawk 0132.
Oh, landing long. Oh, this is going to be better. 167. Nice. Nice landing.
Greensboro approach, Greensboro altimeter 3016.
Contact Atlanta Center 125.15. Good day.
4515, see you, Frontrunner 6.
See ya.
So 14 miles from Gummy, cleared direct Gummy, cross Gummy at or above 3,000, cleared VOR DME Alpha approach, Burlington Airport.
Cleared to Gummy at or above 3,000, cleared for the VOR DME Alpha approach.
It's back at the last FAA facility I was at. A friend of mine and I had this idea to make this website called ratemylanding.com or like landingrate.com or something like that, where every airplane that came in, we as controllers would rate the landing. This is purely from a external, ignorant, just from the tower view type of rating.
Number 49 X-ray, proceed direct coast is maintained 3,000.
Proceed direct coast is maintained 3,000, 4349 X-ray.
But then, like, people when they landed could go back and see like how good of a landing we thought it was and stuff. It would be kind of ridiculous, but we had a pretty built out idea, like.
Roger.
Like you could have this huge database of information of like this flight from this place to this place generally has like an average landing rate of this or something, and the idea is absolutely ridiculous because nobody cares, but because you have no idea who the pilots are or anything like that, so I mean it's not really usable information, but it was just something fun that we could have thought of. You get a lot of on the airlines. You get like little stats like on-time percentage and stuff like that. Well, how about soft landing percentage or something like that? Like how often does you look up your flights by like who the pilot's going to be and like how often they make soft landings and stuff like that. So, as if that means anything about like how safe of a pilot they are, but it was kind of just a silly idea that we had.
November 49 X-ray, verify full stop.
Affirmative, 49 X-ray, full stop.
Nobody steal it, please. All right, that's in my intellectual property.
November E Bravo Golf.
Copyright. Snare 17.
For traffic over Gummy, northeastbound, altitude indicates 2,600.
Never actually did anything with that, obviously, because that's just not really that good of an idea. But we thought it was funny. Pilots could look back and go, wow, the tower thought we really stunk on that one. As if we know anything. Oh yeah, so playing on a drum when you're not used to playing on a drum is painful. Like you play one of those Black Max pads, it feels like you're playing on a block of cement. And it hurts. It rattles your bones and stuff. So you definitely have to develop the hands to play on a drum. Like yeah, that only comes from playing on a drum. But yeah, there's definitely more rebound from an actual drum, and you don't get as much dynamic variation because everything that comes from a proper marching snare is loud as heck. Every sound is really, really loud, so you're not going to hear as much of a difference in sound from like a tap versus an accent.
After an hour and 36, well,
standing far away you do, but right up in front of the drum, like right up on top of the drum, you can't hear it as well, I don't think.
I'm efficient if nothing else. What was I going to do? Stop the clock.
November 00 Mike, we have a military route that's active, and it's about 3 miles to the west of Davidson County, and they are allowed to operate a 3,000 and below.
Alright, roger that. 250 Mike.
Do you want to maybe do you want to go a little bit more north to set up for a right downwind? Or I'm assuming you're going to go 6.
Yeah, that's fine with me. I can go a little bit more north here. 250 Mike.
Absolutely, man.
November 00 Mike and Roger. Fly heading at 350. Vector
yeah, if
for that
anybody
right
wants to grab a
downwind.
hold of this scenery, this is free
Here,
passing.
250 Mike.
Superb. The chimpanzee. Gotta be something like that. Thank you so much for the follow. How you doing?
November 49er X-ray, contact tower 119.1, good day.
No, you're parking
419.1, good day, 49 X-ray.
Oh. Oh, that's not gonna
Everybody that's watching, by the way, make sure you like and subscribe the video. It's not the most interesting one ever, but it wasn't really meant for that. But it's more of just a hangout today. But helps the channel, not just the video.
Clear on your scenery. I don't have Flipstar's panning camera.
Smash the like button.
67400, very nice. Oh. I don't wish to sound alarmist, Panda, but you may need to check for trees in the undercarriage there. I've got a master caution. See, I got hot brakes. I don't have. Okay, I'm gonna I'm gonna get rid of the parking brake.
November 8 Bravo Golf at traffic, 10 o'clock and 3 miles. Appears to be that they are following the VOR on their own.
Looking for traffic, 738 Bravo.
November 8 Bravo Golf at traffic, altitude indicates 2,700. Just maintain 4,000.
Which KJack is better?
Maintain 4,000, 738 Bravo Golf.
Dang it, I don't know which one I have. Hold on a second.
November 4 Lima Delta 435. Excuse me, 3543 for November.
Oh, that's terrible.
I have
November 00 Mike, direct to the airport is approved at your discretion. Just maintain VFR at above 3,500 for now.
No, I don't have
Martinsville, you're cleared to Juliet Yankee Oscar Airport, asphalt, call maintain 7,000.
I haven't seen Odo's one actually. Oh, I don't like the I don't know if I like the stand markings. Maybe they're alright.
It's just about lunchtime, methinks. I had kind of a late breakfast though, so I'm not super hungry yet.
November 8 Bravo Golf. It looks like you'll just be in sequence behind them after you do your procedure turn. So procedure turn is still approved, and just advise on the inbound leg.
Yeah, I'm going with 9,000 downloads.
No. So a rear fulcrum does not mean using fingers. Rear fulcrum means you're using wrist. A lot of wrist.
The A320 does look nice in the
Good question, though.
I'm not gonna lie.
November 4 Lima, uniform, stay out 2 climbing 2.
It's pretty
We're going to go to 9,500 for about 5 minutes just to avoid some clouds.
November 4 Lima, uniform.
A finger, if you're using a lot of finger, you generally have a front fulcrum, a forward fulcrum. It's because the pivot point, if you're going to use your fingers a lot, the pivot point really starts to come up here between the forefinger. You get a 2-point kind of grip. I use more of a 3-point grip, like 2.5-point grip, where I'm using half of the forefinger, but it's mostly between the ring finger, not the middle finger and the thumb. But so yeah, this is what you get where I don't really even need to hold with any fingers other than the pinky. If I'm keeping the pinky in, I'm kind of holding it with the ring finger and the pinky finger is where most of the pressure is, and that keeps it from being from any finger really sneaking in. Let's see if you can see it better from here. Oh, I'm still getting the same thing on the inside view. That doesn't make any sense. But yeah, it's not fingered. It's very wristy. It has to be wristy, because that's where the wrist's fulcrum is back here, right? So the more wrist you get, the further back the fulcrum of the stick should go. Like you can see, it's like right in here. Versus this. That's very forward, like right in here. This one is further back. So there's more energy, more weight. You got the weight of your hand going through the stick and the drum instead of just this. This is a very hollow sound, and this is what a lot of drummers use, this right here. But you get this as a much fuller, better sound overall. Puts pushes more air through the drum head, makes the shell resonate more on an actual drum. It sounds huge, and it's awesome. For the drum corps sound, that's exactly what you want, though, because you have to get over, you have to play over the sound of like 100+ horns, and they're loud, you know. In a very small marching band, You're probably overpowering your wind section.
Yeah, let's go. What's Gadget doing?
November 8 Bravo Golf, verify this.
Gotta go give Gadget some. There you go. It's 2 a.m.
Oh, it's looking so nice.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. Come back for the sub giveaway if you want to be a part of that. I'm gonna quickly see if anybody cares, but we are gonna do a quick poll because there's too many people in here. So I'm gonna give you guys the option of who we raid. All friends of the channel. If there's anybody else that's streaming that you think would be worthwhile raiding, because I raid these guys all the time, let me know.
Rear fulcrum.
60 seconds to vote.
Rear fulcrum is
Yeah, thanks, buddy. I know 700.
just really an emphasis on the connection between the thumb and the forefinger back here being the pivot point, and really making sure your thumb is pivoting, as opposed to, I don't know.
Dino, thank you for the follow.
12000 Delta 2838.
It really just depends on where you're gripping the stick. If you're gripping it hard, like if you're gripping it back here more, and you kind of have sort of a flatter hand, then if the fingers are rotating with the hand really well, versus kind of it being kind of more of a pointed grip where you're kind of going like this. See, like this. The fulcrum's way forward. It's like right here. Right there. Right.
We do need to branch out a little bit.
Gosh, I can't see it. But if I do it like this, come on, where's it?
But maybe not today.
Now it's back here a little bit more.
Okay.
So it's just a slightly different approach.
So
Delta 2838, clear direct bolt.
It's harder to control that than it is on the right hand, and that's one of the reasons why the right hand always sounds different than the left hand. It's just way more meat attached to the stick on the right hand than there is on the left hand. I mean, the left hand, you're squeezing it more though. There's more tension here than there usually is on any point in here, but it's just gonna sound different because of the way the way your hand is contacting the stick. How much of it is contacting it, where it's contacting it, things like that, the pressure that's on it.
Icon approach on entry taken.
Piper Cherokee, November 6341 Romeo. We just departed Shiloh. We're inbound with information kilo.
I'm digging this method.
Kilo current at Greensboro.
Appears to be 2 in the pattern at Burlington. A change to advisory frequency is approved. A report cancellation of IFR in the air this frequency or on the ground via the remote.
We would like to cancel now. Bravo Golf.
November 8 Bravo Golf, IFR cancellation received. Squawk VFR, change to advisory frequency approved.
Romeo, radar contact 11 miles northeast of Greensboro. Altimeter 3016.
3016, going on.
Expect runway 5 right.
And 5 right, 4 Romeo.
So yeah, Vanguard drummers tend to have more of a flat left hand to start with, and the tilt also helps with that too. So back when I was with it, we tend to roll over and do more from the wrist, at the back of the wrist rotation than more of an upright kind of where we're kind of pushing the drum stick into the head.
056 radio.
That makes sense.
November 2298 Whiskey. Did you want a vector to rejoin the
I'm
radio?
not saying that that's better or any sort of way, but I think the sound is better. But I'm very biased in that respect.
080 and join
I can tell the
Liberty
difference between
056
lines that play like that and lines that play like more traditional and on flat drums, and where it's very let's jab our right elbow way out and or where we're just very relaxed and just down. Everything's very natural. There's not a whole lot. There's no tension in your limbs and stuff, and so it's a very different look, very different approach, very different sound. When we played, they don't do that stuff anymore because they're lame. But what are you gonna do? Times change, right? I think that was one of the reasons that I even chose to be in a drum line and a drum corps back then, was because of the style and the approach that they were playing. And I really dug it. I thought it really suited me pretty well, and took me a heck of a long time to learn. But
Greensboro departure, Skyhawk 46338.
that was the philosophy I liked a lot.
On 340 Blues Lake.
November 46338 Greensboro departure, radar contact. Maintain VFR at above 3,500 for inbound traffic.
Altitude at about or above 3,500, radar contact. Skyhawk 338.
November 36 Papa, contact Atlanta Center 134.55. Good day.
Is that for November 9 or 36 Papa?
Affirmative. November 9 or 36 Papa, contact Atlanta Center 134.55.
3455 for 36 Papa, thanks. Good day.
So the only reason I'm talking about this stuff, Isaac, is probably this might be the first time you've ever even heard of any of these concepts.
Departure Skyhawk 46338, we won't be able to climb at or above 3,500 for clouds.
November 338, roger.
And you may never hear them again, to be honest. I don't know if that style's kind of died, it seems. Not that it's I mean, for no reason other than I think it's just not, wasn't super mainstream, I guess. Won some dang championships with it though. It's pretty much all the I won't say that he invented it, but that was all Murray Gussick. And it's very much a set drumming kind of mentality, I think. A lot of the stuff we played came from there.
By heading is 360 for traffic 338.
Shoot, right after I got out, they started playing match grip.
Radar contact 4 miles northeast of Davidson County Airport, Greensboro.
I don't know if it was the year after I got out or not, but a good buddy of mine who I haven't talked to in a long time and missed dearly was the center snare for that line. And I don't want to say his name, but
2194 Greensboro approach.
That must have been an experience, man. All of a sudden, everybody's playing match grip.
All right, 3016. We'll get
for 1 year. I think it was a 1 year, maybe 2 years or something like that. Yeah, they took a lot of flack for that. Sound quality was really good, though. Only reason you pull a stunt like that is because you want to try to match the sound as perfectly as you can, and sure, I'm sure it matched, but man, you eliminate a whole lot of people, a whole lot of players that have played for years and been taught for years how to play traditional grip, and now you have to play match grip. Like I couldn't do it. I could not play with that quality. I'd have to practice probably 4 or 5 hours a day, like you are, for a long time to get my left hand anywhere close to the quality of my right hand. I can't even right now. I play match grip. It's a mess. It is a mess. I can do it, but the left hand is not doing it anywhere close to the same thing that the right hand's doing, and that's tough. "2005 sounds right. 2005, something like that, somewhere around there.
Number 338, traffic no factor, resume on navigation to Blues Creek, radar service terminated, squawk VFR, frequency change approved.
90 Whiskey has traffic site, no factor.
On course to Blues Lake, 338.
Jet 807, contact Atlanta Center 128.8.
One.
And the other cuff taken, sorry. November 908 Whiskey, traffic no factor, passing off your left.
Yep, we got him inside 908. Departure TBM 220 Charlie Hotel 090 assigned, climbing 2003.
TBM 220 Charlie Hotel Greensboro, departure radar contact, climb maintain 5000.
5000, 0 Chapel Hill.
Alright. Let's reset it here. Nice little savey poo.
Zero Charlie Hotel, traffic 11 o'clock, 10 miles southwestbound. Cirrus at 6,000, expect higher passing that traffic.
Looking for the Cirrus, Chapel Hill, thanks.
November 80 Delta, traffic 1 o'clock.
Wow, that took a while, but that half of the runway is now marked.
TBM at 4,000.
100% transparent runway with nothing but the tire gum marks. No markings on it at all. No default markings. All custom markings. Which means they're in the right spot. They look pretty good, I think. And just the tire gum. There's no markings at all on the other side yet. All right, so an invisible runway. That's the method I've used for this one. Pretty cool, I think. Looks nice. I'm not sure it looks any different than any other runway. Yeah, left-hand match sucking is normal if you're used to playing traditional grip. They tried to put me on quads when I started playing, when I started first auditioning for drum corps. They're like, maybe quads would be better for you. And I'm like, dude, have you seen my left hand? I can't play around the drums with my left hand to save my dang life. Chalk Salty's in the room. Reinhard, good to see you. The painter's contract. Oh, yeah. Touche, sir. I wouldn't say it was wrong. It's just, you know, this is, so this airport, when it was, this airport's pretty old, right? This was the original runway. The one I'm working on right now used to be the only runway. And, it's only like 6,300 feet. Then they built this runway. And then lastly, they built this runway. So you can see, it looks like an evolution, you know? An evolutionary process. There's definitely some changes that are going on with these runways. But this runway is the oldest, and I think the painting style they use, because of the approaches and stuff that are in use with it, like doesn't have an ILS approach on this side of the runway. It's not nearly as fancy of a runway as the other ones. It's very rarely used. I think the paint and everything has just kind of been different on this one. So I don't know what to say other than that. It has a different history and story to it. So things have been going differently. So that what's default and what is kind of the norm for runways now Maybe it probably doesn't exactly match what is actually on this runway in terms of paint and stuff like that, but I don't know. I could be wrong there. Yeah. Plus, this is really old photos. These are probably almost 10, no, not 10 years old. Yeah, it might be like a 8-year-old photos that we're looking at here, so they may have changed the way that runway numbers have to be spaced and stuff like that, so it could be very well that what I'm painting on here isn't what it looks like anymore. That's kind of a scary thought, isn't it? But we get that older places with older taxiway structures and runways and everything will have a lot of sort of grandfathered in standards for how things are supposed to be done, and you get very different results. So default settings in simulators don't necessarily adhere to that. I'm actually looking at the Google Maps, which is a very, very up-to-date photo, and yeah, all this is pretty much just, oh, look at that. Oh, man. Alright, so there's a problem with this technique I'm using, is that the black borders are on the runways now. Oh man. So I'm looking at the more up-to-date photos and everything has a black border around it.
November 9 Whiskey. 4000 cleared RNAV. Correction, a viewer me Alpha approaching Wellington Airport.
There's no way to get these things to have black borders. They're nowhere.
Charlie Hotel 900,000 X-ray.
TBM 0 Charlie Hotel, Raleigh approach 132.35.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
Ranger approach, Cherokee 32540, checking in at...
I don't know what to do about that, man.
400 for 6,500.
Tomorrow evening, nice.
540.
Cherokee 32540, Greensboro approach, Greensboro Center 3016.
Sweet.
Into Burlington, 229 release.
So this is me. So I haven't actually modeled this runway in the sim yet. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm using a totally different technique from this runway that I've used for the other ones. And so the result is a little bit different, a little more time consuming, but it ends up matching everything much better than this sort of default throw them lines wherever you think they're supposed to go. Thing works. I don't know. There's supposed to be standards that the FAA uses, but I'm bummed that this black border on all the assets thing is rearing its head again. Because it's not a problem today, per se, but it will be at some point. You can't see black borders on this stuff yet. It's just not there. But this is, like, again, I said it's like 8-year-old photos, and I think since then everybody uses black borders around everything. But this is a 100% default markings runway. All the markings, edge marks, threshold marks, numbers, center lines, all this stuff is all default. Does it look any different than what I put on there? I don't think so. But the placement isn't right. So there's that. So I think, I mean, anytime you use the default stuff, it doesn't have a black border either. So what am I supposed to do with all that? I don't know. Just get over it, I guess. Because I don't know how you paint a like an apron like this and get a black border around it without putting another apron underneath it and just making it a little bit bigger. Talk about varying degrees of success. Like, unless they came with like have an outline property or something, you know? Maybe that's the way to go. Say, hey, this is going to have a border. This is the color of the border. That kind of a thing. But that doesn't exist yet.
November 558 Foxtrot Lima, Greensboro approach, Greensboro Timber 3016.
Is that 12 for
November 8 Foxtrot Lima, Greensboro Timber.
All right, Reinhard, good to see you, man. Thanks for popping in. Always a pleasure. Let's we'll talk again soon.
Lima traffic, 1 o'clock, 6 miles southeast bound. Altitude indicates 3,900.
That is a South Afrikaner who lives in Norway. So I'm trying to get a feel for whether or not these black borders on these yellow lines. Looks like they do. White lines, no. Okay. Or maybe it's just so thin that I can't see it on these junky photos, and it's actually there. So how do I fix this problem? Where this doesn't actually exist anymore. It's all just... But if I wanted to paint a hold short line, I could do it and then I could put a black apron below it. God, I'd have to do that for every single one, though. Well, it's better than just leaving it yellow, I guess. But anyway, and you can see it on the Google Maps image. This is just all black and in the current form. They blacked out this is a land and hold short line, and we don't do land and hold short here anymore. So those lines don't exist. What we properly call lasso.
Greensboro approach, Sirius 858 Sierra Delta, com check.
November 8 Sierra Delta, you're loud and clear.
So really what we should do is go in. Draw ourselves up a little didgeridoo. And enable coloration. Say make it black. No ground merging. And I don't want to do it. That's as black as it gets. I won't just do black.
November 8, Foxtrot Lima, traffic, no effect.
Alright, no factor, that's very nice.
So there's that. Man, I really like the way this looks. See the grain in the asphalt, which I'm all about. I'm just gonna have to live with things not having black borders in the sim. Which, all right, I can take that, I guess.
November 540 traffic, 11 o'clock and 3 miles northbound, correction, northwestbound. Altitude indicates 6,500, appears to be climbing.
540, heard traffic, check C2 540.
So this whole technique that I came up with to do this runway came from me trying to figure out a solution for making sure that the runway did not cross this runway. The runway lines didn't cross. I went over that a little bit in the stream I did yesterday real quick.
Approach, check C2 540.
But yeah, so if I did it with default stuff, all these edge lines and center lines would have crossed, and it would have just been a big mess there. But in real life, it doesn't actually do that, so it's important to not let that happen.
And verify that was shooter 160.
Affirmative, shooter 160.
Shooter 160, Greensboro approach. Go ahead with your request.
Shooter 160, request the overhead.
Hey, shooter, aren't you forgetting your 9-iron?
Shooter 160, roger. What's your type aircraft?
Shooter 160, we're at X2/Golf.
This is why things take me so long, because I like to look at them.
Shooter 160.
How does it look from over here? How does it look from over there?
Squawk.
It's kind of how you get motivated to see, well, maybe I need to make something just a little bit better. Maybe this needs to just be a little bit more accurate. I need to adjust this just a little bit, things like that. But I think this looks really nice.
Shooter 160.
radar contact, 25 miles northwest of Greensboro Airport.
Oh, that's a good question, Isaac. That's a really good question. Some people do it, but it can be really stinking hard to do that because the sound quality on these things stink, and you can't always listen for the right things. If snare line, you can usually hear the snares, and sometimes it can be beneficial. It has to be a good drum line that you're listening to videos of. And I'd really say that nothing will substitute for actually playing in a real line, and like a real live listening situation. So, but it's better than nothing, I guess. Not super transferable, but you should be able to. I wouldn't do it all the time. I'd practice the heck out of an exercise or a cadence or I don't know, an excerpt or something like that. You're by yourself to a metronome or to a click or whatever you're doing, and then try to clean it with the line. Does that make sense? Just make sure, just to get the right interp and stuff, and then go back to practicing it on your own. I think that's really the only way that really can be beneficial, is if you use it sparingly. But it does have a place, and especially for interp purposes, and to kind of, because just because you play something a certain way doesn't mean the line plays it the same way. So it's worth playing around with from time to time. Just don't overdo it. Oh, well. I'm kind of dawdling here, so as not to start this part. Like, oh, I only did half the runway, now I gotta do the other half.
Saratoga 833 9er Zulu, Greensboro approach, Greensboro 3015 west.
Inbound for a full stop, we are 25 miles northeast of the airport, 39er Zulu.
This one is considerably easier.
Over 39er Zulu, rising. You're Saratoga, correct?
Greensboro approach, 2298 Whiskey.
November 908 Whiskey, Greensboro.
Yeah. That could be an issue.
39er Zulu, squawk 0134.
We're back up this frequency.
134, 39er Zulu.
You'll get over that, though. I mean, just getting the experience of, if you can play and show some ability to listen, then you'll be all right. You just got to be an asset to the line, you know, to the ensemble, and you'll learn that as you go. You can't get that experience without actually playing with another line, with line mates. So don't worry about it too much. You'll get that experience. And just auditioning is a good way. You'll get a ton of experience from just doing that.
46 Romeo, we're direct Concord at this time. We had to deviate a little to the right to keep VFR.
November 46 Romeo, roger.
And it looks like we might need another few degrees to the right.
November 46 Romeo, that's approved.
Approved 46 Romeo.
November 80 Delta.
It's like being it's like wanting to be a pro basketball player, or like try out for like a college program or like top college program, but you've really only ever played 2-on-2. You know, you play 2-on-2 in your driveway all the time. You might be super good, or you played a bunch of 2-on-2 tournaments or something like that. You might be really good at 2-on-2, but 2-on-2 is not 5-on-5. They're not the same thing. So 2-on-2 doesn't prepare you for 5-on-5 that much. I'm not trying to say that I know anything about basketball, but I know at least that much. There's a lot of guys that are really good at like playing like 2-on-2. See them all over the YouTube. It's the professor or something like that. You ever see his videos? Guy's a pretty good basketball player from the looks of it, but I don't see him playing in the NBA. So yeah, playing with one other snare drummer is not quite the same as playing with 7 or 8. Does that mean you can't do it? No. You can it's just a listening situation. I mean, that's the biggest thing. It's learning how to listen down a line. If you're in the center, you have to listen both directions. And really everybody has to listen into you. But and then there's if you're on an outside, the listening situation is different. Everybody's kind of suited for different spots on a line. I was never in the center much because I don't know if I wouldn't say it was because I don't know. I don't know why exactly that was, but I mean, like I said, I was not ever the best in the line. I was pretty dang good, and I think in many ways I was a lot better than guys that were inside of me. But I don't know. They put me on the left side of the line. That's kind of where I felt I fit. And for my listening situation, my left ear stinks, like I said, so it's been that way for a long time, so it's probably better for me to be on the left side of the line where I had to listen to the right. But it's not... Different lines actually set up their orders differently too. Some of them do it by height, and some of them do it by marching ability, some of them do it by drumming ability, stuff like that.
Maintain VFR.
3015, maintain VFR, 2237 kilo.
November 37 kilo. Flight present heading, vectors, final approach fix, correction, final approach course are nav runway 21. Did you want vectors or did you want to do the T-fix? November 37 kilo, roger.
Sort of a weird looking piece, but it's just how it is, right?
November 5 Bravo Charlie, VFR descent, your discretion.
VFR descent, my discretion, Bravo Charlie.
Oh yeah, one thing I need to make sure that translates through to this piece here is the
November
ground merging.
7 kilo, it's kind of an awkward turn. Did you want to just go to CD direct now, or did you want me to vector you a little to the north of CD?
Okay.
I'd rather just go direct feed, 2237 kilo.
November 37 kilo, roger, direct CD approved.
Direct CD approved, 2237 kilo.
Good. All the properties are pretty much carbon copy of each other. Get a put a runway grain there. The asphalt seams.
November 46 Romeo VFR descent, your
Very good.
discretion.
Let's just do these rounds. I'm pretty much done.
November 2298 Whiskey, Greensboro.
For approach, Skyhawk 2298.
November 2298 Whiskey, Greensboro, departure I-10, Greensboro, altimeter 3015.
November 540, VFR descent down to 4,500, your discretion.
In November 98 Whiskey,
I'm glad you're enjoying it,
1
David.
mile southeast of Burlington
It's
Airport, Greensboro, altimeter 3015.
it's relaxing. I'm just chilling, feeling super stress-free and everything, which is
November 98 Whiskey, are
really
you
cool.
Ready to go direct to Raleigh, or did you want to continue on the mist?
Feeling productive, like I'm getting somewhere on all of this. That was another thing I wanted to make sure I did today. Made some progress. Didn't put quite as much emphasis on production. Not that I have that much production quality or anything in my streams yet, but just here to chill.
November 5 Bravo Charlie, contact approach 124.35.
124.35, Barco.
Not sure I needed that point. Something more like right there makes more sense. I guess that's kind of an important thing, is if you identify a point that probably doesn't actually serve a purpose, get rid of it. Pointless points are good ways to slow down the performance of your scenery, and therefore your simulator.
3235, 98 Whiskey.
November 325 Delta Sierra, Greensboro approach, Greensboro altimeter 3015.
3015,
Copy. November 540, VFR descent down to 3,000 as approved.
Fire descent down to 3,000 approved, check EC 2540.
Okay, draw that surface in. Does that look? Not a whole lot of mystery or magic to it, really.
Cruiser approach, Saratoga 8339 Zulu, airport site.
Saratoga 8339 Zulu, roger.
Alright, so no markings yet, but the surface is tailored to the scenery.
Cleared RNAV runway 21 approach, Asheboro Airport.
CD at about 3,700, cleared RNAV 21 approach, Asheboro, 237 kilos.
November 37 Kilo, will this be a full stop?
Negative, we're going to proceed back to Stanley County.
Alright, Isaac, good to see you, man. Have a good lunch.
Did you want flight following to Stanley?
Yes, we'll call you back up.
Alright, so edge lines.
Roger.
November 540,
I think I duplicated this up
2 to 3
before.
and 3 miles southwest bound.
So this one I will actually use the painted line, the wide white object.
Looking for traffic.
November 8 Foxtrot Lima, traffic 9 o'clock and
Close
2
that
miles
up. Just edge lines.
southwest bound, Cherokee 3,200.
This is super duper easy. Just gonna go add.
Traffic,
And that thing's degraded.
Charlie, I have the field in sight. Request flight, cancel flight on.
November 5 Bravo Charlie, traffic 1 o'clock, 5 miles, maneuvering altitude indicates 3,000. No additional traffic observed between you and Martinsville.
This edge line's eating up in this photo.
Change approved.
VFR for your crew, be looking on lookout myself.
We've got fair weather cumulus over us, about 800 feet above us. 237 kilos.
November 37 Kilo, roger. The cloud's 800 feet above.
Broken cloud layer, and actually we're totally in the clear right now. 237 kilos.
November 37 Kilo, roger. Thank you.
That's right. Lima, previous call traffic has you in sight.
Just left side center line. Now, my technique for this has been to double it up, just to make it a little wider. It's the strategy I used over there, I think. Yeah. Now we go do the same thing. Other wide white.
November 46 Romeo, traffic about 11 o'clock and 3 miles northwestbound. Altitude indicates 3,800.
Turn the apron off here for this part.
November 46 Romeo, actually traffic appears to be maneuvering in that area. I'll keep you updated. November 46 Romeo, maneuver as necessary.
Okay.
November 46
All right.
Romeo, traffic appears to be
Good to see you, David. I will probably about to knock off for lunch myself, so hope you have a good rest of your evening. Take care, and we'll see you later, man. We'll save. Someone was pointing out on a forum that I saw that the degradation in the frame rates and stuff comes from the hierarchy being open, and that if you close it up, you start looking around, all of a sudden your performance comes back. And that's mostly true, I'd say, but I think it's just like the more objects you get on here that have been edited, I think eventually it just starts slowing down. He's back. Wow, we missed you, buddy. We missed you.
North of the field. Altitude indicates 3,500.
You don't really need to sit here watching all of this. There's not a whole lot going on, man. Unless you really enjoy it. I am not insulted if you need to go for some reason.
Clock VFR, frequency change approved, take speed to 540. Thank you, have a good day.
You too.
If you want to be here, man, you're welcome here anytime. You know that.
November 5, Delta Sierra, traffic 10 o'clock and 5 miles northwestbound, 2,900 indicated RV6.
Delta Sierra, looking for the traffic.
November 37 Kilo, change to advisory frequency, approved, report back up this frequency.
Right, go to advisory, we'll report back up. 257 Kilo, thank you.
Right, there's a 3. Haha, not getting rid of you. Alright, that's fair. Alright, runway asphalt. Actually, I think if I just go paste properties. Boom, there we go. Look, see what we think of that.
We do not have a visual on that traffic.
November 5, Delta Sierra, that traffic now about 10 o'clock and mile and a half northbound, 2,900 indicated.
Yeah, we see him on the screen, do not have the visual, thanks.
Delta Sierra, how's the traffic?
November 5, Delta Sierra, roger.
Okay. That's not gonna look right. Do something with this. Maybe in there. Okay. Turn the apron on. Surface on. Inspector. See how that looks.
Greensboro 5 Delta Sierra has Sierra at Winston.
November 5, Delta Sierra, roger. Traffic 12 o'clock and 5 miles northwestbound. Altitude indicates 2,800.
We're looking 5 Delta Sierra.
Greensboro approach, 745 Echo Romeo.
November 745 Echo Romeo, Greensboro approach, squawk 3552.
Buck 3552, they can pick up our IFR to Augusta if able.
November 745 Echo Romeo, affirmative, I have it here. November 745 Echo Romeo, radar contact 6 miles northeast of Asheboro Airport, Greensboro altimeter 3015. And you're cleared to Alpha Uniform Gulf Airport as filed. Climb maintain 12000. Expect flight level 310 in 10 minutes.
All right.
For the Augusta Airport as filed, climb maintain 12000. And we'll expect flight level 310 in 10 minutes. And we're 3015 altimeter.
Hello, Greensboro, citation 331 Papa Romeo 17.5, descending 13,000.
November 331 Papa Romeo, Greensboro approach, Greensboro altimeter 3015, descend and maintain 10,000, and contact approach 124.35.
10,000, 2435, see you.
Afternoon, Greensboro, helicopter 586 Whiskey Hotel, information kilo.
November 5 Echo Romeo, are you on course already?
We're on course direct Bobo to join the airway, and it's as filed 5 Echo Romeo.
November 5 Echo Romeo, roger, thank you.
The hotel is currently about 15 southwest, headed northbound, sir. Just be skirting the west side of your class Charlie.
Has traffic.
Echo Romeo, contact at Washington Center 135.2, good day.
Helicopter 6 Whiskey Hotel, you just want to transition closer through the Charlie?
That's firm, sir. Headed north to Rockingham East.
Right. All right, that says 3-2. That's what we wanted.
Hello, Greensboro, citation 331 Papa Romeo 15.4, descending.
Helicopter 331 Papa Romeo, Greensboro approach, altimeter 3015.
3015, that's citation 1 Papa Romeo.
Sorry, citation 331 Papa Romeo, Greensboro approach, roger. Helicopter 6 Whiskey Hotel, squawk 5203.
02 Greensboro approach, Greensboro altimeter 3015.
Lima, contact Charlotte approach 128.32, good day.
It may actually perform a little bit better when the tree is closed. Looks kind of similar though, so still stutters and stuff. Stutters and stuff. So I'm not exactly willing to say that that's the answer. So this is going to be an edge line.
November 323 Delta Greensboro approach, altimeter 3015. Helicopter 6 Whiskey Hotel, radar contact 2 miles west of Greensboro Airport. Altimeter 3015, say altitude.
1, 2, 3, 4.
3015, currently show 2,200, sir.
Let's do this. Let's do 1, 4.
3 Bravo Lima, and about 7 miles off amendments for your routing, and be ready for that.
2832. 2832, thank you. You're welcome.
Approach Seneca 1239 Tango with VFR request.
November 1239 Tango, Greensboro approach, say request.
We're about 3 miles to the west of Twin Lakes. I'd like to see if we can shoot the RNAV 33 at Winston-Salem, and we have Sierra.
November 39 Tango, say type aircraft.
A Piper Seneca 39 Tango.
Five Delta Sierra has Winston in sight, beginning our descent.
November 5 Delta Sierra, roger. Traffic no factor, contact Winston Tower 123.75, good day.
5 Delta Sierra over the tower, thanks for your help.
You're welcome. November 1 Papa Romeo, descend at pilot's discretion, maintain 6,000.
We'll start our way down to 6, 1 Papa Romeo.
Yep.
Helicopter 6 Whiskey Hotel, traffic in left closed traffic at Greensboro runway 5 left, 1,500 is a Skyhawk.
6 Whiskey Hotel, negative contact.
Roger, they're left base right now. It shouldn't be a factor.
Okay.
I'm just letting you know they're out there.
I have my TKS, thanks, sir.
It's alright.
Roger, you're welcome.
Good to have you here in spirit lurking. Man. Almost done with this. Almost done with this. Let's throw some centerline paint
November
down.
23 Delta traffic, 12 to 1 o'clock and 3 miles, same direction. Altitude indicates 3,100. Additional traffic, 1 to 2 o'clock and 4 miles. Eastbound altitude indicates 3,000. November 3, 9 Tango, squawk 5277.
5277, 39 Tango.
Greensboro Warrior 2337 Kilo, off Ashboro, climbing through 2,200.
Southeast of Twin Lakes Airport, the altimeter is 3015. Advise when you have Ada Sierra, and say again your approach request. You wanted the ILS or the RNAV?
We have Sierra, and we would like to get the RNAV runway 33 starting at Azelle, available into Winston, 39 Tango.
3015, give you a flash, 2337 Kilo.
November 3, 9 Tango, roger. Proceed direct Azelle and join the approach at Azelle. VFR altitude, your discretion.
November 37 Kilo, radar contact 10 miles north of Stanley County Airport.
1 Papa Romeo, continue discretion to 4,000.
5227 Kilo.
1 Papa Romeo.
November 37 Kilo, you picking up the localizer now?
That's affirmative. 5227 Kilo.
November 37 Kilo, the ILS is out of service at Stanley. Pay attention.
Can you send us to Iwuku to fly the RNAV 22 left, 2227 Kilo?
November 37 Kilo, they're on runway 4 right.
Okay.
Skylane 199 Romeo November, Greensboro approach, altimeter 3015, stay in tension.
Right.
Number 9 Romeo November, squawk 3521.
November 1 Papa Romeo, report Blue Ridge Airport inside 12 o'clock, 18 miles.
Attention.
On site, 1 Papa Romeo.
November 23 Delta, traffic's now turning westbound 12 o'clock, a mile. Altitude indicates 2,500.
7 Kilo, and is that for the RNAV?
Did you have an approach request at Winston?
Kilo VFR traffic 12 o'clock, 5 miles southwestbound. Correction, southeastbound, 3,500 indicated.
Center lines.
Number 9 Romeo November, radar
Added.
contact 5 miles north of Burlington Airport, cleared to Foxtrot Romeo Airport. As filed, claim and maintain 9,000.
Edge lines, threshold line, center line.
For 4 Foxtrot Papa, Greensboro departure, radar contact, climb maintain 7,000. Clear direct, Myrtle Beach.
Any traffic between us and the field?
November 1 Papa Romeo, clear visual approach, Blue Ridge Airport. Traffic 2 miles west of Blue Ridge Airport. Westbound altitude indicates 2,500.
Alright, cancel IFR at this time.
November 1 Papa Romeo, IFR cancellation received. Squawk VFR, change to advisory frequency approved. Good day.
Good day, 1 Papa Romeo.
Wife and daughter going out to the stow. Going to the stow.
Greensboro Warrior 5227
37 Kilo has traffic inside.
November 37 Kilo, roger.
Okay, back to apron.
November
Defaults.
23 Delta, fly heading 050, vector final approach course.
Center line. 1, 2, 3, 4. Paste properties. Turn draw off. Turn our apron underneath off. There we go. That's better. I'll fine tune these corners here. Want to get this done, but I am getting tired. Mid is catching up with me. So we push forward.
Oasis 02 Greensboro approach, are you on 2435?
Had a lot of Oasis at the airport the last couple days. Last night especially. No, it was, I guess it was yesterday afternoon, right about this time. Bunch of Oasis flights.
Approach, 71 Alpha Tango, 5300, descending down to 2000, 1 Alpha Tango.
November 9 Romeo, November, contact Washington Center 124.05.
1-5, 1 Alpha Tango. No, Romeo, good day.
Good day.
No, so all the music that I use is called a piece called Stream Beats.
Yeah, we're ready.
So you go to their website. Let me see if I can
November 413 Bravo Lima.
find it.
Clear to Thompson.
Yeah, streambeats.com.
Via Thompson.
Put a link for it here in the chatter too.
November, then direct, maintain 6,000.
Yeah, so streambeats.com is all copyright free. It's made for Twitch and Twitch streamers and YouTubers. So you can just download it, or you can stream it right off. It's on Spotify. It's on Apple Music, Amazon, all that stuff. And so if you go to that website, it gives you this page right at the front, and you go down to, what is it? Lo-fi is the category I use. Then you go down to albums, and gold is the album specifically that I'm talking about. That is the one you're looking for. So you can click on the listen button at the top, I think it is. It's one of these, and it'll download it.
November 39er Tango, 5 miles from Bocce, cleared RNAV runway 33 approach Winston Airport.
Michael, stay out of 14,100, and then the same for 13, or 13,000.
And there you go. That's how you get all that stuff. That's where it's all from. It's there for free. You can download, I think, off of his Discord, Harris Heller's Discord, I think. But I think there's also a web link there where you can download it from. Then you just download it all, or you can play it off of a streaming service. 100% copyright free.
You're welcome.
Don't ever need to worry about it.
Lindbergh 4601, Greensboro departure, radar contact, climb maintain 12,000, leaving 3,000, clear direct Genie.
That's the thing that on YouTube especially is you got to be really careful with. On Twitch, you don't have to worry about it quite as much because they're not. I don't think they're as good at seeking out people that use copyrighted materials. But YouTube, if I have a bunch of like soundboard drops that I could put in here that I think would probably get copyright flagged for because they're the clips from movies, so they would probably get dinged pretty quickly, I would imagine. Maybe not. I don't know.
Greensboro approach 240 Bravo Lima.
But they have automated systems that go through and look for these things too, so it's kind of crazy that they do that. But it's the state of things these days.
Number 37 Kilo, squawk VFR.
Squawk VFR, 227 Kilo.
Number 8 Mike Golf, maintain 9,000.
Speaking of the state of things, I have not looked at the markets today. Probably tanking again.
And 8 Mike Golf, disregard that, maintain 13,000.
3,000, clear, thank you, Mike Golf.
240 Bravo Lima. Greensboro approach, 240 Bravo Lima.
November 413 Bravo Lima.
Greensboro approach is 240 Bravo Lima.
November 240 Bravo Lima.
Greensboro approach 16 miles to the southwest at 3,500. Request stop and go, 240 Bravo Lima.
November 20 Bravo Lima, is that stop and go at Greensboro?
Correct, 240 Bravo Lima.
Looking nice.
November 0 Bravo Lima, say type aircraft.
DA-40.
Go traffic, numerous aircraft in the vicinity of Davidson County Airport. Most of the traffic is to the south, about 4 miles. There's traffic running about a 2-mile final for runway 6.
I have to do all the...
And additional traffic 2 miles north.
Isaac's back. Good to
County
see you, man.
Airport,
I've got to get my lunch soon.
2,500.
Kilos current, expect runway 5 right short.
So I'm going to duplicate this one and just go...
0141, 240 Bravo Lima, inclination kilo.
November 1 Alpha Tango, roger, radar service terminated, squawk VFR, frequency change approved, good day.
Turn the apron underneath it off.
3687 Lima,
Turn
Greensboro
the
approach.
surface drawing off.
Contact Winston Tower 123.75, good day.
2375, see you.
See you.
Alpha Greensboro, full stop landing with
Try to line these things up.
Lindbergh 4601, contact Washington Center 124.05.
2405 on 4601.
Oasis 202, contact Roanoke, approach 126.9er.
Oasis 02, switch in 26.96.
Good day.
Greensboro, citation 242, Bravo Sierra 109.
Number 242 Bravo Sierra, Greensboro approach, altimeter 3014.
Bravo.
Number 240 Bravo Lima, contact approach 124.35.
124.35, 240 Bravo Lima.
Greensboro approach 240 Bravo Lima, 3,500.
Okay.
Bravo Lima, Greensboro approach, altimeter 3014.
A lot of duplicating's going on because they're all about the same size. I might have to trim some edges and stuff on occasion, but it's nice to get the basics of it, each object in there, and knowing that they all have the same properties and everything already makes editing this very easy. So, okay, I'm just going to move this one just a little bit over there. This one just a little bit over there.
November 0 Bravo Lima, make straight in approach runway 5 right, contact tower 11. Actually, before you go, what are your intentions after your touch and go?
Stop and go and then direct back to Johnson Regional 240 Bravo Lima.
Roger, tower will have your climb out and make straight in approach runway 5 right, contact tower 119.1. Talk to you on the go.
5 right,
draw that
tower
one.
119.1.
Draw that one.
240 Bravo Lima.
Draw that one.
Greensboro approach out.
Draw that one.
Would like to cancel request into the class Charlie.
4638 Greensboro approach, Greensboro altimeter 3014, squawk 0135.
My squawk machine is broken.
Squawk machine is broken? Your transponder don't work? Is that what you're trying to say?
87 Lima, you said you're going to land at a different airport?
Yes, sir, unless I can come into Greensboro, 87 Lima.
87 Lima, we're not showing your transponder. Say your position right now.
Position is 13 miles to the east of Greensboro.
Information Lima current, altimeter 3014. Skyhawk 46338, radar contact 2 miles north of Greensboro Airport. Expect runway 5 left, fly heading 190, vector final approach course.
Sticky Rice, good to see you, man. Good morning to you. A left coaster. Doing great progress on this runway. Just about done with the surface and the paint. So just a couple more elements to go. I've made it this half of the runway done already. We're gone underneath. We're going past 5 right now. We're on the other end. Just a couple more things to do. Some new techniques I'm using. Seem to be going pretty well.
And Greensboro report to Bear 155 X-ray at 2000, heading 340.
80 for radar identification.
55 X-ray, Greensboro departure, radar contact, VFR climb to 6,500 is approved.
VFR to 6,500, approved, 155 X-ray.
Greensboro approach, good afternoon, 478 Kilo Juliet, 5,500.
It's kind of fun. It's kind of cool, the evolution of how I've kind of gone to think about a lot of these elements. You start from, well, everything has got to be a line, it's got to be a default item, and I'm just going to just hope for the best and stuff like that, and
Echo, Golf, Tango, Echo.
And if it doesn't quite line up, I stick with it, to versus like now I'm going to paint this on myself with using lines, and now I'm at the point where I'm not even using lines anymore, I'm just using aprons. Like just the sort of evolution of how you think about it. It's like, oh, I can do these different things to get a similar result, because I can control, when I use this object I can control this and this and this, and when I use this object I can control this and this and this. It's like, well, I can get a plane, sort of a whole, I can customize a shape using vertices and change the vertices and still get it to be the same color as a painted line. That was this epiphany that I had today, and I was like, wow, I could probably do this with an apron, and it'll look just like if as long as I can do these things, it'll look just like as if it was a painted line, and that's where we're at, and that's how you get. That's how these things go, man. You learn different ways to do things more efficiently or make it look better, more customized, you know, things like that. Get the result that you look for from different ways. And I think the result I'm looking for, I mean, the reason I'm doing all this in the first place is because I want it to be accurate. You know, I want it to look, if not perfectly like the airport that this airport, then I want it to look pretty darn close. And I think we're getting right in the realm of pretty darn close. There are probably more professional scenery developers that would say, no, you gotta do all of these things this way, completely different than me, using all sorts of external apps and stuff like that. I've done every bit of this inside of the simulator, guys. That's the amazing thing about Microsoft Flight Simulator, is how good of a result you can get just using the basic stuff that comes with it. Not having to do any 3D modeling or Photoshop work or anything like that. We'll get to that point. Maybe. I don't have any real experience with that kind of stuff. That's why I don't use it. But yeah, like I said, I'm sure the Fly Tampas, what's the one I like? Flight Beams of the world have their techniques, and they're probably way better, way more accomplished, and way more experienced at texturing and modeling and stuff like that, which I'm not. So they have all the chops to do this stuff, where I'm kind of just a noob using a scenery editor. But this ain't my first rodeo on a scenery editor either, so that's why I think I kind of have some idea of what I want to do. I know how I would have done it in a different sim that had more features, like I explained. Their world editor was a little bit better in terms of features than this one, but this one also has the ability for me to live update things right inside of the sim, which is very, very helpful, because I will know every time I put a taxiway light in, or I put a runway object in, I know exactly what they're going to look like when it's published, because I published it in this, I created it in the sim in the first place. It is a huge tool. And so yeah, these sims kind of go about doing things very similar ways. They didn't really invent the wheel here. Reinvent the wheel anyway. So everything is similar. It's just kind of figuring out how the tools work. The tools are a little different, but they do the same things. So figuring out how to get it to do what you want it to do. Still kind of bummed that there's no hole cutter out of an apron, but oh well.
Yeah, we're level 6,000 inbound.
Alright, so those short ones are done. I'm going to do the 1,000-foot marker. Yeah, David, sorry. You have to kind of play with it a little bit. I forget exactly how I did it, but eventually you'll find it. And it sounds as if you may have already done so. How can you paint gate numbers on the taxiway? That is a great question. You probably do it the same way I did. Did these numbers. You just trace something, but if you can't do it like that, like these numbers are much bigger than gate numbers. I think there is a default element on a property of the taxi park. What is it? Of the parking, taxiway parking or whatever it is, object that will. That is made for painting numbers. Putting gate numbers in. So that's worth looking into, I think. It's a little bit wonky about that one line. This is kind of a point where you also realize that.
Baron 55 X-ray. There's traffic about 10 miles behind you, overtaking you. Direct.
Oh, wow, that's looking good.
Charlotte, it's a Pilatus. They'll be descending to 9,000.
These
Alright, we'll be on the lookout for the traffic.
The photo scenery ain't always right. Let's just say that.
There's no navigation to Johnson County.
7,000.
Look at that, though. That's beautiful. And it's darn near done.
Look for the traffic, run to 422.
I'm so proud I was able to find a good way to deal with this. And what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to redo this whole runway. Because the results for this runway have been so good that I'm just going to do that same method on all of them, I think. Eventually. It just takes so stinking long just to paint a runway. My goodness.
Good afternoon, Greensboro departure, citation 262 Bravo Kilo. 1.8.
Yeah, so I think if you wanted to add a taxiway parking thing, let's say I want to add it like there is a has number marking. And you can say what the number is. You can, and then you can do offsets for parking tees. You can say, you know, you want it to be bigger, smaller, what direction it faces, and all that kind of stuff here. You can edit its position by dragging it around. So I think that is a pretty cool little feature.
You're welcome. K7 Lima, enter right base.
That's probably the best way to do it. There's also an object called a projected mesh, where you could just make a texture that has the number that, you know, with whatever background that has the number that you want to put on there, and then it's just like a decal. You just place it right on top. Drag and drop it in the sim and shape it. But if for every different number, you'd have to do a different texture. So do you want to do that? I don't know. I don't know what the performance of that might be. I might end up doing something like that for the paintings, or for like these paintings here on the runways, like these, the taxiways. That is for the runway numbers. I might end up doing a projected meshes for these. We'll see. Because those are kind of specific. So, and it's the same ones that are kind of used over and over again. So I might just be able to get away with doing it only a few of them, and then just placing them a bunch of different spots. The sim does have a method to do that by itself, but it wouldn't line up properly. I'm pretty sure that's the kind of dilemma that I have with a lot of these things. It's like, if it's not going to line up right, I'm going to do it my dang self. If you haven't been able to tell yet, that's how I work. All right, let's get these last lines done. I'm dawdling. I want to get to sleep at some point. My son's going to be home in 40 minutes-ish, 45 minutes. School, and he's going to want my attention, so on and on.
Okay, 2 Bravo Kilo, looking for that.
Oops. That's not what we want to do.
Maintain VFR at or below 8,500.
Full object in there. 1, 2, 3,
2504,
4.
240 Bravo now.
Enter.
I only
Okay,
have
right click, case properties, undraw, turn off the apron for 3-2. There we go.
November 2 Bravo Kilo, if you're looking at the
now we're going to the node level.
It should be the Carowin fix, or the Carowin side of the departure. The climbs for props.
Okay, I'm going to have to go back and re-put that in for 2 Bravo Kilo.
Roger. November 2 Bravo Kilo for now, fly heading 180, and cleared via the Triad 9 departure, Carwin transition, Columbia, then it's filed.
Okay,
I would just paint, I would just duplicate it, but I don't know that effort. I think these things are probably different enough
on the heading until we get that in.
that it doesn't necessarily make sense to go through all that trouble. Just do another one. Right click, case properties, undraw, now the node level. Changing the vertices, making it all fit the edge of the polygon.
Advise when you have the weather at Mid-Carolina Airport and say approach request.
We'll advise when we have the weather. What altitude did you say for 23 Delta?
3,000 for November 23 Delta.
Alright, turn that one on.
November 39er Papa Romeo, report Winston Airport in sight, 12 o'clock, 10 miles.
Report in sight, so 39 Papa.
November 39er Papa Romeo, clear visual approach runway 33 Winston Airport, contact Winston Tower.
Okay,
123,
and finally,
Visual 33, 23,
155 X-ray.
Kronos 422, I need you to start your descent to 9,000 now.
Starting it now, Kronos 422.
Thank you.
And citation 2 Bravo Kilo is direct Carwin at this time.
November 2 Bravo Kilo, Roger, contact, or correction, you should be direct. You said Bolt or Carwin? You should be direct Bolt.
Direct Bolt at this time, 2 Bravo Kilo.
November 2 Bravo Kilo, Roger, contact Atlanta Center 128.8, good day.
128.8, thanks for your help today, 2 Bravo Kilo.
okay, there we go with that. Right click, case properties.
November 3 Bravo
Again,
Lima,
do
there is
that.
traffic,
Undraw.
2 o'clock, 10 miles.
This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a duplicate,
6,600, contact
drag it,
Atlanta Center 125.15,
duplicate,
good day.
drag,
1515, and we're looking for that traffic.
duplicate. I'm not even really worried about it being perfect. Duplicate. So create them all at once, get them loosely lined up, then I can go through and do nodes all at once. Maybe that'll help it go faster.
Kronos 422, contact
This
Charlotte approach
was a bit of a tedious process the last time,
2515, Kronos 422.
because I kept stopping to look at everything, so I just want to get them all out there.
For departure, Archer 323 Delta has the weather to Mid-Carolina. Would like to
Anytime you're using new techniques to do things, at least when I do it, I tend to want to look and make sure that it's getting the result that I want it to, so I know that this, I should continue using this technique, and I think so far,
and how will that terminate?
I've been happy with how it's worked, so that's why I'm a little less worried about the results right away, kind of trusting that this is going to look how I want it to when I'm done with the work, when I put the work in. Alright, so I've got 12 of those on there. Now we just go down the micro level here.
November 23 Delta,
Just
Roger,
start
clear direct Zug me.
direct Zug me, 3 Delta.
moving nodes.
checking in for 6,000.
Draw that one.
This is 352 Hotel Sierra 4,400 for 6,000.
Some moving.
Medevac 352 Hotel Sierra Greensboro, departure IDEN, climb and maintain 12,000.
IDEN, climb and maintain 12,000. 352.
Medevac 2 Hotel Sierra, radar contact 5 miles northeast of Mount Airy Airport. Clear direct Genie.
Clear direct Genie, 352 Hotel Sierra.
Good day.
Road departure, November 7643 Golf, climbing 2,100 on course 340.
November 55 X-ray contact, Atlanta Center 125.15. Good day.
Edward Atlanta 125.15, 155 X-ray, have a good day.
November 7643 Golf, Greensboro, departure, radar contact, VFR climb to 3,000 as approved.
Climb approved, 43 Golf.
November 43 Golf, proceed on course to Whiskey 901 Airport.
Right,
Smith Mountain Lake.
43 Golf.
Virginia.
Medevac 2 Hotel Sierra, contact Atlanta Center 128.8. Good day.
128.8, 352 Hotel Sierra.
See you.
All right, Isaac, go get that practice done, man.
Miles from Zugme, cross Zugme at or above.
I'm rooting for you.
Cleared. RNAV runway 20 approach, circle to runway 2 at Mid-Carolina Airport.
Zugme at or above 3,000, cleared RNAV runway 20 approach, circle to Mid-Carolina.
Departure Blue Streak 5390, 1,900 climbing to 5,000.
Blue Streak 5390, Greensboro, departure, radar contact, climb and maintain 12,000.
Climb and maintain 12,000, Blue Streak 5390.
Blue Streak 5390.
Somehow this one didn't get duplicated over.
Left, heading 290.
Leaving 4,000, turn left heading 290.
There's such small, minute adjustments I'm making, but it makes a lot of difference in the shape and what the end of these little stripes look like. Oops, over here. Like, do they look crooked? Do they look oblong? Does it look square? That kind of stuff. Specifically what I'm working on here.
November 32 Delta, after completion of your options.
Greensboro, radio check.
124.35.
Over loud and clear. How many?
Stop, clear.
feel like a lot of controllers think that when someone gives you a radio check that you have to say how me. Well, if they can respond to you, then clearly they can hear you loud and clear, right? I don't know where that phraseology comes from, but say loud and clear.
And approach,
move on to the next thing.
Cessna 478 Kilo Juliet. We're maneuvering and descending a bit to avoid some build-ups.
November 8 Kilo Juliet, Roger. VFR altitude, your discretion, and deviations left or right, of course, are approved.
Lieutenant Guillermo approach, Calabas 65, 11, 17,000, descent to 13,000. We have weather environment and request visual.
Skyline 65, Greensboro approach, altimeter 3014, descend and maintain 8,000.
3014, maintain 8,000.
Oh, Friday afternoons. It gets busy. Thursdays do too. God bless all these guys that have to work it every week. I don't mind being busy. I actually like being busy at work. Makes it go by faster. Get kind of into it, and that's kind of, you know, you're here to work. Your skills are, you develop your skills such that you can work busy traffic, and when you get busy traffic, you feel a little more useful, I think. All right, how does that look? Alright, that is the finished surface and painting of runway 3214. And 2 halves. Whew, that was tough. This is a good stopping point. Good time for lunch. Probably a nap after that. Oh yeah, this sim is crying uncle.
Amend altitude for your climb out.
Yeah, that looks nice. That looks really nice. I am so in love with how this intersection looks now. Without the crossing lines. Oh man, that is awesome. I'm so glad that was able to work out well. I am very, very pleased with this. Except for the edge lines and the center lines, it's all aprons. Little tiny aprons. Awesome. Hopefully that performs well in the finished product, the published product package. We'll see. Every one of these little things is an apron. Apron, apron. Numbers are aprons. Markers are aprons. Apron, 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 apron. So yeah. This is what you got to do.
November 8 Kilo Juliet, contact.
Scenery editor, let's close some of these things up.
12405, thanks for the help, we'll see you.
You're welcome, see you.
Yeah, it doesn't, hierarchy doesn't really matter there that much.
November 2-3.
And we are moving right along.
Appears to be in the left downwind for runway 20, altitude indicates 2000. Change to advisory frequency approved, I'll talk to you on the go.
From there, do you need some vectors? Skylab 65, are you going to be able to get down from there? Do you need vectors for your descent?
I will be able to descend. Skylab 65.
Yeah, Skylabs will make it happen.
3014, one McCall. We have filled inside. We would like to cancel IFR.
Skylab 65, IFR cancel received. Squawk VFR, change to advisory frequency approved. VFR traffic 1 mile north of the field. Altitude indicates 1,600 southwestbound.
Squawk VFR, frequency approved. Outbound traffic, Skylab 65. Good day.
Good day.
So a transparent runway with aprons. Transparent runway over aprons, really. With nothing but the tire gum
November 42 Alpha
material added.
maintain 3000.
Set 3000, 42 Alpha.
Looks pretty legit. Cool. All right, guys. Thanks so much for playing along with us while you have been. This has been a nice long stream, so it's what are we? 3 hours 45 minutes in the books here. Another long one. Probably not going to be viewed by too many people in the long run, but thank you so much for everybody that watched, liked, and subscribe if you have not already, please. So we want to make sure that as many people are able to see these as possible. Just showed you. Just spent pretty much this whole time doing some some techniques that are pretty new to me in terms of building runways, and I think the product has been pretty awesome, and kind of working with it as I went and doing and then redoing some items, but I think what we ended up with was it. So aprons are the way to go for these markings, in my opinion. Maybe even the center line lights. That's up to you. Or center lines. That's even up to you if you want to use the wide white painted line or if you want to use the an apron for that as well. But that is how you get, especially intersecting runways, kind of looking really nice. And I'm just about out of things for now. The next steps for this runway will be to put in the runway profile, the height profile, and then start putting the edge lights. The edge lights are going to be super easy for this runway. And we'll do threshold lights as well, which are going to be dual-sided lights. I still haven't shown you the dual-sided lights yet, so we're going to have to work with those. And we'll get them in, and it'll look amazing, I'm sure. So thanks for following along, everybody. It's been a good day of work here. I'm probably going to work more outside of the sim later, but we'll probably not stream that. That's what I bet, I guess, outside of the stream. So you might not see much of that, but I really do appreciate those of you who have been here and chatting and watching these things. I know it's not flying. Flying stuff gets the views and everything. So I will be back there. I'll probably try to do one tonight for the Friday Night Ops again. We'll see what my family lets me get away with. They probably want to do like a family movie night or something tonight, so I might not be on Friday Night Ops. But anyway, we'll keep plugging away at this stuff. And the cool thing is once I'm done with this airport, at least all the surfaces, to the point where I think they're ready for flying around, then I will start doing that on stream. See me flying in and out of this airport. Now, what that also doesn't mean is this will not be like production ready where I'll be publishing it, because in order to make this thing production ready, I'm going to need to put a lot of the AI kind of stuff, like all the taxiway, all the definitions and everything for the AI to follow, so that AI traffic can use it. I don't use AI traffic, so for me just to fly with it in VATSIM, I can pretty easily just hop on these surfaces, whether they have paint on them or not, or there's taxiway signs or not, and just go ripping around the airport, because I know this airport really well. From both my air traffic control experience for the 6.5 years plus that I've put in at this airport, or the flying experience that I have in and out of this airport. So I know this place well enough to not need to do all that. And so yeah, so I might be flying in and out of this airport soon. I just got to make sure that I can get it to a point where it actually publishes the package and compiles it correctly. I haven't actually tried that yet. We'll see how that goes. And so yeah, thanks so much for following along, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you all soon. Ciao.
Zulu, then Southern Pines, maintain 5,000.
69 for 1 Lima Golf. Good day.
71 Lima Golf.
And I press this button.
Man, this frequency for now. I got traffic 1 o'clock at about 4 miles northbound, 4,800 climbing.
Sand Hills.
Copy. 411 Lima Golf. Do you want me to stay with you?
1 Lima Golf, affirmative, just for some possible traffic. I don't know if it's going to be climbing up into your altitude.